Chapter 3253. Honey, honey. Huamin called out from the room, but she didn't get a response. Huamin went to the bathroom first. When she came out, she carefully opened the door and walked out. As expected, there was a faint light coming from the study. Honey. Huamin gently pushed open the door. Qin Chu looked up in surprise. He didn't expect Huamin to wake up in the middle of the night. He wasn't working. His computer was off. Qin Chu was sitting on the chair with the dim light on. He still had an unfinished cigarette in his hand. Honey, why are you up? Qin Chu asked as he quickly got up and put out the cigarette. I got up to go to the bathroom, but you were gone, so I came out. Huamin pouted, looking sad. Ever since she came back from abroad, she had been feeling very insecure. She was always worried that Qin Chu wouldn't be by her side. Maybe she was traumatized. It's okay. I won't run away. Qin Chu walked over, took off his jacket, and wrapped it around Huamin. Honey, I'm not cold. Good girl. Put it on. You're pregnant. You can't be careless. Why are you so late? Why aren't you asleep? Huamin thought Qin Chu looked pale and haggard. I still have some work to do. I didn't finish it at the company. Are you in a hurry? Yeah, I'm in a hurry, so I worked through the night. So are you done? Yeah, I'm done. I wanted to smoke a cigarette and go to bed. If you're not done, I'll help you, Huamin said. How could I use you? Pregnant women in my family are precious. You're as precious as a panda. Qin Chu teased her on purpose. PSH, I'm not a panda. That guy is lazy and greedy. I'm a hard-working Dr. Hua. Okay, Dr. Hua, let's go back to bed. Staying up late is bad for the baby. Yes. Huamin nodded and obediently followed Qin Chu back to the room. Huamin turned off the lights and went to bed twice. This time, Huamin did not fall asleep quickly. She secretly closed her eyes, but she didn't fall asleep. About 40 minutes later, she secretly opened her eyes. With the help of the moonlight, she realized that Qin Chu was still awake. However, it was already 2:30 in the morning. If he didn't sleep now, the sun would rise. Huamin did not ask him again, because she vaguely felt that Qin Chu seemed to be hiding something from her. The next morning, Qin Chu went to work after breakfast, and the twins went to school. Huamin packed up and went out. A young lady, where are you going? The driver and bodyguard walked over respectfully. I'm going to my friend's house as a guest. Let's drive to the Wei's villa, Huamin said. Okay, young lady. Just like that. Huamin asked Xiaowei to go to Wei Liao's house after breakfast. Jiang Xiaowei was not in good health recently. She had been on leave and did not go to work much. Therefore, she was the only one at home every day. Wei Liao went to work and the children went to school. She had a lot of free time. She even learned how to arrange flowers. The Wei's villa was very artistic. It was all thanks to Jiang Xiaowei. Huamin liked the atmosphere here very much. She and Jiang Xiaowei were in the greenhouse in the back garden, enjoying the air conditioning and watching Jiang Xiaowei trim the newly bought flowers. Xiaowei, I actually came here today to ask you for a favor, Huamin said directly. Huh, do we still need to use the word favor between us? Don't give me that, just say it. Jiang Xiaowei looked at Huamin with a smile. Xiaowei, I beg you, tell me what Qin Chu is hiding from me. You must know, right? Huamin asked with a bit of heartache. Mian, what are you talking about? Jiang Xiaowei replied unnaturally. Chapter 3254. Xiaowei, don't hide it anymore. Since I'm here to ask you, I must know. I want the answer, the truth, not your perfunctory answer, even if it's out of kindness. You know, my friend. Huamin didn't say much, but this simple sentence made Jiang Xiaowei completely surrender. She also knew that it was probably better for Huamin not to know. However, now that she had a rough idea, there was no point in hiding it anymore. With Huamin's IQ, it was difficult for him to continue lying. In the end, Jiang Xiaowei sighed softly. Mian, I'm sorry. I didn't want to hide it from you. You don't have to apologize. Even you hid it from me. You must have your reasons. I guess that it was better for me not to know about this, but now that I know, you should tell me the whole thing, or else I won't be able to sleep and eat in peace. I know your personality. If that's the case, fine. I'll go back on my word to Qin Chu. Jiang Xiaowei made herself a cup of coffee. She poured a cup of warm water for Huamin and placed it in front of him. Then, Jiang Xiaowei told Huamin what happened starting from the day she fell off the cliff and Qin Chu vomited blood and fainted. Huamin only heard the first sentence, and tears welled up in his eyes. When he came back, he only heard from everyone that Qin Chu was unwell and was hospitalized. However, the part where he vomited blood and fainted was so soul-stirring. The others didn't tell Huamin in detail. This was also something that Qin Chu told him not to say. Huamin knew that he had always been afraid that she would worry. Qin Chu had always wanted Huamin to live in a pure and beautiful world under his protection. She wanted him to face all the bad things alone, but as husband and wife, they were one. How could she let him bear everything alone? For years ago, Qin Chu had already suffered too much. Others might not be able to empathize with him, but Huamin understood. After being together for so many years, the two of them still had this bit of tacit understanding. Qin Chu no longer takes that kind of medicine because it will hurt his liver. However, it still can't cure paranoid personality disorder. I studied psychology, so I could be considered an expert in the field of personality analysis, so I know how serious his problem is. This kind of mental illness can even follow some people for a lifetime and be tortured to death. What you're seeing now is Qin Chu's inability to sleep at night. Severe insomnia should be just one of the symptoms. Huamin raised her head and asked Jiang Xiaowei calmly as tears streamed down her face. What if I continue to suffer from insomnia? Jiang Xiaowei's heart ached as she looked at Huamin. You are also a doctor, so you should know that other than the mental torment that normal people can't feel, some people with weak mental states would want to commit suicide. However, Mr. Huamin won't do that. He believes in you and our children, so he won't do anything stupid. However, if he continues to suffer from insomnia, his heart won't be able to take the burden. Eventually, his heart will slowly fail, and his lifespan will be much shorter than a normal person's. After Jiang Xiaowei finished speaking, she didn't dare to look Huamin in the eye. She knew how cruel Huamin's words were to such a calm person. Huamin didn't cry or throw a tantrum after hearing this. That wasn't her personality. She only cried quietly. After a while, she raised her head and asked Jiang Xiaowei, So, for the past 4 years, my husband has been silently enduring all of this by himself. Chapter 32:55. Mian, Qin Chu really loves you. He's always shown you the best side of him, and you've always seen the best side of him. He's willing to take on all the bad things, the darkness, and the evilness. There's no other man like him in the world. Wei Liao loves me very much too, but he can't be like Qin Chu. He can't bear to hurt you even a little bit. You're really lucky. Xiaowei, now you understand why I only love him after all these years. Huamin bit her lip as tears flowed down her face. Yes, I've wavered before. Maybe it was because of Wei Liao's influence that I thought Su Yu loved you without any reciprocation. However, you didn't even show him any tenderness and kept a distance from him. Even when you were pregnant and thought Qin Chu was dead, so you took care of you and your mother for many years, but you still wouldn't let him get close to you. At that time, we thought you were too cold-blooded, too rational, and unreasonable. Now we finally understand that your man is so good. No one in the world loves you more than he does. Jiang Xiaowei also cried when she said these words. Even as a bystander, she felt that it wasn't easy for Qin Chu and Huamin to be together all these years. Qin Chu was especially good at enduring. He never mentioned a lot of grievances and did a lot of things for Huamin. He didn't even need to let Huamin know. How many men in the world could do that? Huamin picked up a tissue and gently wiped her tears. Then, she said in a choked voice, I've always known that Su Yu is good to me. I'm not an idiot, so how could I not know? I'll always remember the kindness of the Su Yu family. As long as Su Yu needs it, I'm willing to give up my life, but I'll never use myself to repay the kindness. That would be too unfair to Qin Chu. At that time, I thought that even if he died, I wouldn't accept anyone else. That would be blasphemy to our relationship. Now it seems that my persistence all these years was right. You all thought, and even I thought that I've done enough for Qin Chu. But now, it seems that what I've done is just the tip of the iceberg. It's not even 1/10 of what he has done. Xiaowei, in this life, I only love him. He's the only one I'll ever love. I know. Jiang Xiaowei's eyes reddened, and she was slightly moved. As a good friend, she had watched them go through so much together. It wasn't easy. How many people had fallen in love since high school and stayed by each other's side for so many years? Even death couldn't separate them. Huamin suddenly cried even harder. Every time she thought about how Mr. Qin had suffered from this paranoid personality disorder for the past 4 years, she felt as if someone had stabbed her heart. It was so painful that she was about to suffocate. Mian, control your emotions. You're pregnant, you have to worry about the baby. Seeing how emotional Huamin was, Jiang Xiaowei was also worried. She stood up, walked over, and gently patted Huamian's back. Huamin held Jiang Xiaowei's hand tightly. Her wrist was already wet from her tears. Xiaowei, can he be cured? Huamin's voice was drowned out by her sobs. It was obvious how sad she was. Of course you can. Mr. Qin is just worried about you and doesn't feel safe. I think if you stay by his side for a long time, he'll get better. But what if he can't sleep? He can't sleep at night. He's getting more and more haggard these days. How can I help him? Huamin didn't even remember that she was a doctor at this moment. She thought about things from a doctor's point of view. Instead, she became a patient's family member. All she felt was worry and heartache. Chapter 3256. You have to take it slow. You have to know that the surgery was very successful. He's no longer under the influence of drugs that damaged his liver, Jiang Xiaowei comforted. Huamin didn't say anything after that. He just kept crying. Half an hour later, he finally calmed down. Xiaowei, I'm a little hungry, Huamin said as he looked up. Oh my God, you're finally okay. I thought you were possessed by the white snake and were about to flood the Golden Mountain, Jiang Xiaowei joked. Dr. Jiang, stop talking nonsense. Hurry up and get me something to eat, Huamin said jokingly as he wiped his tears. Okay. What do you want to eat? Your little ancestor wants shrimp dumplings. Oh, Cantonese food. You're so hard to cook. Okay, I'll ask my chef to prepare it. Be patient. Then, Jiang Xiaowei ordered the chef to prepare lunch. She was afraid that Huamin would be hungry, so she washed a lot of fruits and took out a pudding from the fridge. This is a little cold. Eat it slowly. I don't know why, but ever since I gave birth, every time I eat pudding, I think of my eldest daughter. It's been a long time since I last ate pudding. If you don't want to eat it, give it to me. Jiang Xiaowei was about to snatch the pudding away. No, I can eat one behind your back. Huamin was like a child. He smiled and hid the pudding in his arms. Both of them had high IQ. After they vented, they didn't mention what just happened. It was about Qin Shu and his paranoid personality disorder. After they finished eating at Jiang Xiaowei's house, Huamin left in the car. Before they left, Jiang Xiaowei put her arm around Wei Yi's shoulder and whispered in her ear, I'm an expert in this area. Remember to talk to me whenever you feel uncomfortable. Don't hold it in by yourself. I know. Huamin nodded. After he said goodbye to Jiang Xiaowei, he left the Wei mansion. A young lady, are we going home? No. Let's go to the company, Huamin instructed as he sat in the car. All right. Half an hour later, GK President's office. After the meeting, Qin Shu walked to his office with a sullen face. The subordinates behind him looked anxious. President Qin, I've been planning this for a long time. Can you give me another chance? You've already missed your chance. Qin Shu's voice was very cold. I didn't expect things to turn out like this. It's the first time my partner has stood me up. Maybe something happened over there. Our department worked overtime for 3 months to come up with this plan. President Qin, there's no need to say anymore. This matter ends here. I don't care if it's a problem with the partners or you. In short, I don't see a satisfactory result. I gave you a chance, so let's leave it at that. With a bang, Qin Shu closed the glass door of his office. She kept the man outside the door. After the man hit a wall, he looked disappointed. Finally, he paced around the door for a while before leaving. After Qin Shu came in, the atmosphere was very tense. He loosened his tie and sat on the office chair. He used his right thumb and middle finger to press on his temples. In fact, he had a lot of work to do every day. It was just that he had been getting less and less sleep recently, which caused him to be mentally and physically exhausted. Before, he couldn't sleep at all. Now that Huamin was back, he could sometimes sleep for an hour or so. This was already a big improvement. However, a normal person's brain and heart couldn't take it if they didn't sleep well. As a result, he wasn't in a good state of mind. Qin Chu closed his eyes and was thinking about the company's new project when a pair of gentle hands reached out from his hand. She put her hands on his shoulders and massaged him. Chapter 32:57. Smelling that familiar scent, Qin Chu's heart instantly softened. Honey, Qin Chu raised his hands and placed them on Huamin's fair little hands. MHM, why are you here? I missed you. Huamin coquettishly wrapped her arms around Qin Chu's neck and pressed her face tightly against his. Why didn't you call me in advance? I'm here to check on you and see if you're having an affair with the female secretary. Huamin said deliberately, You're being very disrespectful to Yang. Qin Chu smiled faintly. What if little Yang went to Thailand for surgery one day? It's not impossible. Why don't I call him in and you can ask him? Qin Chu was amused. No, I'm just kidding. You're so boring. Huamin stood up and was about to leave. However, Qin Chu hugged her tightly. Are you heavy? Heavy. Qin Chu nodded. Do you want to die? How dare you call me fat? Huamin looked up and was about to punch Qin Chu. She heard him say, You've always been so heavy in my heart. So heavy. Huamin's heart instantly melted. She tightened her arms around Qin Chu's neck. Qin Chu smiled and patted her hand. Honey, I can't breathe. Do you want to strangle me? Honey, MHM, I won't disappear. I'll never disappear again. I'll always be by your side. MHM, so you'll always be by my side? Don't think I'm annoying, okay? I won't. Even if I'm old and not pretty anymore, I won't mind, Huamin emphasized. Honey, I want to say that you weren't pretty when you were young, okay? Huamin, our friendship is over. Huamin pouted. Don't. I'm joking. Our friendship is over. Huamin tilted his head. Someone just swore to me that she wouldn't disappear and would stay with me. Mr. Qin immediately took out the death exemption medallion. Fuck, I finally know what it means to dig a hole and jump into it myself. Huamin laughed. Are you hungry? I'll take you to get something to eat. Qin Chu looked at Huamin lovingly, his heart filled with happiness. I'm not hungry. I ate at Xiaowei's house. You want to look for Dr. Jiang? Yes. You didn't go shopping? No. I'm just going to visit her house. She's been obsessed with flower arrangement recently, Huamin said calmly. She didn't mention it at all. She didn't want Qin Chu to know that she already knew the truth. Since he wanted to hide it, she would continue to pretend that she didn't know. Yes, that's not bad. She's too domineering. It's good that she's more feminine, Qin Chu commented. Honey, I bought you lunch. Oh, there's a surprise? Qin Chu was a bit surprised. Yes, guess what it is? Huamin smiled mysteriously. What's the reward for guessing correctly? A kiss as a reward. No, that's not enough. A 5-minute wet kiss will do, Mr. Qin said decisively. You're so perverted. Huamin smiled shyly. If I can't guess correctly, I'll give you a wet kiss, Qin Chu said. Damn, it's not that easy. Don't even think about it. If you guess correctly, you'll give me 1,000,000 yuan through WeChat, Huamin said proudly. So, honey, you're not here to bring me lunch. You're here to blackmail me, right? Mr. Qin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. So, do you want to guess? You only have one chance. Where is it? Qin Chu asked. I hit it. Qin Chu. Chapter 32:58. Honey, then I'll just give you 1,000,000. I don't want 1,000,000. It's not fun at all. I want you to guess. Qin Chu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She didn't even show him the food, so he had no idea where to start. But seeing that his wife was so interested and in such a good mood, Qin Chu had every right to play along. If I get it right on the first try, don't cry, Qin Chu said. But you definitely won't get it right, Huamin said proudly. Huamin thought that Qin Chu would pick his favorite dish and guessed that it was Aixin's ramen. After all, they share a lot of memories in that small noodle restaurant. But Mr. Qin wasn't such a vulgar person. It should be hot pot, Qin Chu said. You, how did you know? Huamin was shocked. Give me my reward first. We'll talk about the rest later. Then, Mr. Chin sealed Huamin's mouth and kissed her passionately for a few minutes. If it wasn't daytime and they weren't in the office, Huamian would have kissed her. She was almost about to have some improper thoughts. I know, the driver and the bodyguard told you, right? Huamin said. After all, only the driver and the bodyguard knew that she went to buy hot pot. But I didn't. I didn't call them. Chin Chu looked calm. Huamin knew that her husband wasn't a gossipy person. That doesn't make sense. Shouldn't you guess that it's ramen? Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. No way. You told me so confidently that I definitely wouldn't have guessed it. It's definitely not ramen, Wang Yao said. I've been dumb for 3 years. I'm so stupid. Huamian felt like her IQ wasn't enough anymore. She wondered if it had been snatched away by the baby in her belly. Last night, I heard you say that you wanted to eat hot pot. With your personality, you will definitely eat whatever you want to eat. Just now you said that you would have shrimp dumplings for lunch at Xiaowei's house, so I guess that you might bring me hot pot. Damn, hubby, it's such a pity that you don't want to be a detective. Your reasoning is really unparalleled. Chin Shu was a person who was good at noticing details. Huamin liked this very much. He had liked him since high school. So, honey, where's my hot pot? Chin Shu hugged Huamin and asked. Huamin pressed the intercom. Yang, can we eat now? All right, madam. You and President Chin can come to the small conference room. All right. With that, Huamin stood up. Let's go. Honey, I'm convinced. Chin Shu was also surprised. It turned out that not only did Huamin prepare hot pot, but he also asked Yang to prepare it in the small conference room. The small conference room was air-conditioned. When they walked in, they saw a small Mandarin duck hot pot on the table. It was different from the electromagnetic hot pot and natural gas hot pot. Instead, it was a small Mandarin duck hot pot that burned alcohol. One side was slightly spicy, and the other side was clear soup. The small hot pot was surrounded by ingredients for hot pot. Fresh sliced beef, lobster balls, mushroom balls, crab sticks, lotus leaf noodles, tofu skin, and 4 or 5 types of vegetables. Madam prepared it with great care. President Chin, please eat. Yang, sit down with us, Huamin said. Huh? I'll pass. Yang scratched his head and smiled awkwardly. It's okay. I bought a lot. Sit down and let's eat together. Go and see if Jixin and Bella have eaten. If not, call them over. Okay. Just like that, the hot pot for 2 became a hot pot for 5. Huamin did buy a lot of ingredients, and the 5 of them ate with relish in the small conference room. Sis, have you settled everything for the engagement banquet? Is there anything else you need me to do? Jixin asked as he ate. Chapter 32:59. Yeah, that's about it. You and brother-in-law spent a lot of money on me this time, right? Yeah. Huamin nodded. I feel like I'm a leech. I've been relying on you and brother-in-law ever since I graduated. So, instead of relying on us, you're going to rely on others? Did they let you? Sis, you're not talking to me properly. It's okay, Jixin. From now on, you can work for GK for free. You don't need to be paid. You'll be able to repay our kindness to you, Huamin said. Sis, you're so evil. Jixin smiled bitterly. Don't listen to your sister. She's just teasing you. Chin Chu said. I know, brother-in-law. I didn't take it seriously. What I meant was, you'll still get paid. Then, you can slowly pay back the money we spent on you over the years, Chin Chu said in all seriousness. Jixin, Yang lowered his head and ate a fishball. He couldn't help but laugh. He even accidentally bit into a pissing meatball and spat the soup all over himself. We're talking to Jixin. Why are you so excited? Do you want to be like him? Huamin glanced at Yang. Ahem, I don't know anything. I didn't hear anything. Just like that, the meal was finished in a harmonious atmosphere. Huamin was about to go home. When they went downstairs, Jixin took the same elevator as her. When they reached the 19th floor, Bella went to work. Only the siblings were left in the elevator. Sis, yeah, so you called me yesterday. Why? He asked me what I wanted as a gift for my engagement. He also said that he would give me a car. What did you say? Huamin asked nonchalantly. Of course I couldn't accept it. Suyu is your friend. We're not that close. I'm not that shameless. Plus, brother-in-law already gave me a Maybach. I can't accept it. Well, then I'll politely refuse. I refused, but Suyu insisted on giving us something. Even if he didn't give us a car, he would at least give us something else. Didn't you tell him that we don't accept gifts? Jixin asked. I did. Then why did he? Jixin didn't say anything else. He glanced at his sister and saw that Huamin had a complicated expression on her face. I'll handle this. All right, then I'll be leaving. Sister, be careful. You're already pregnant. You have to be careful when walking up and down the stairs. I understand. Huamin nodded and came out. She originally wanted to go home, but after hearing what Jixin said, she felt that she had to go see Suyu. After all, there were some things that couldn't be explained in a short period of time through WeChat. If things went wrong, Suyu might be upset. Let's go to Imperial Star, Huamin said after they got into the car. Okay, madam. When Huamin went to Imperial Star, she ran into Zheng Ro. In fact, she wasn't here to see Suyu. She was here to see the stars of Imperial Star. But Zheng Ro recognized Huamin at first glance. So, she followed him into the elevator. You Huamin, right? Zheng Ro suddenly asked. Huamin glanced at the girl beside him indifferently. I am. Do you know who I am? You're Zheng Ro, Huamin said. You know me? Zheng Ro was dumbfounded. She had thought that Huamin didn't know who she was. I've seen your Weibo, Huamin said. So you follow my Weibo? No. My daughter showed me your photo when it was all over the news. Huamin was very calm. I see. Are you here to see Suyu? Yeah. Then, before you go see him, can I buy you a cup of coffee? Zheng Ro asked politely. Chapter 3260. But I don't think we have anything to talk about. Huamin didn't like women who liked Suyu. Zhao Qingya and Jian Tong were among the women who liked Suyu. Huamin liked Cici's sister the most. Unfortunately, Suyu didn't like her. Love couldn't be forced. Huamin really hoped that Suyu could have a good girl by his side. But in the end, it was still up to Suyu. Therefore, Huamin coldly rejected this girl named Zheng Ro's invitation for the first time. She didn't want to have the same meaningless conversation as before. Fine. It seems you're hostile to me, said Zheng Ro. You misunderstood, Miss Zheng. I don't know you well. How could I be hostile to you? Then why don't you have the guts to have coffee with me? Zheng Ro questioned. That's because we don't know each other well. But it's exactly because we don't know each other that we can get to know each other better over coffee. If that's the case, why don't you just tell me your purpose? What is it this time? Do you want to warn me to stay away from Suyu? Or do you want to show me that you're Suyu's girlfriend? It seems you put me in the same category as those other women. Zheng Ro smiled. Aren't you? Huamin looked at the woman calmly. To be honest, she really didn't know him and didn't want to cause trouble. Huamin, I'm different from those other women. You can let down your guard. I'm not hostile to you. I admit that I'm interested in Suyu, but I know that Suyu likes you. It's his business, not yours. It's useless for me to pick a fight with you. I just want to know more about him from you. Please. So I asked you to have coffee with me because I want you to do me a favor. Although it's a bit shameless and you can refuse, I think you want your good friend Suyu to be happy too since you're living a happy life with a happy family. Am I right? Zheng Ro's words made Huamin reevaluate her. This girl wasn't simple at all. She was very intelligent. She wasn't a trashy girl who only knew how to create hype. That wasn't the case at all. What he said just now contained too many mysteries. Huamin really couldn't refuse. If he refused, it would be like he couldn't bear to see Suyu happy. After a while, Huamin smiled. Miss Zheng, you're very smart. No, compared with you, I'm far from enough. I don't want to play any tricks. I just want to tell you why I came. But I'm definitely different from those other women. I won't bring you trouble. Please give me a chance, even if you don't want to be my friend, Zheng Ro said sincerely. She seemed to have done a lot of research and knew what kind of woman Huamin was. So, playing tricks in front of Huamin was like showing off one's slight skill in front of an expert. In the end, Huamin nodded and agreed. It was because Zheng Ro said, You're so happy now. You want your good friend Suyu to be happy too, right? Yes, Huamin wanted Suyu to be happy more than anyone else. Such a kind and excellent man deserved to have his own happiness. So instead of giving Zheng Ro a chance, Huamin was giving Suyu a chance. Seeing Huamin nod, Zheng Ro smiled slightly. The two of them were sitting in a cafe on a commercial street behind Imperial Star. "Miss, what can I do for you?" the waiter asked politely. "Blue Mountain coffee for me and warm water for her," Zheng Rose said. Chapter 3261. Before Huamin could speak, Zheng Rose said with a smile, "I heard you're 3 months pregnant. Congratulations." "Thank you." Huamin praised this woman for her thoughtfulness. She knew she was pregnant and couldn't drink coffee, so she ordered warm water. "Before I saw you, I saw many photos of you. After seeing you in person, I realized you looked different from the photos," Zheng Rose said with a smile. "Oh, what's different?" Huamin drank the warm water elegantly, looking as calm as ever. Photos can show a person's general appearance and facial features, but they can't capture their charm. You look closer in person. "Really? I've always wondered what kind of woman could make a man like Suyu fall in love with her without regret. Although I don't know you well, I feel a strong magnetic field around you that can calm people down. No matter how restless a person is, they can calm down in front of you." "Miss Zheng, you flatter me. I'm just an ordinary person. I'm not as scary as the media says," Huamin said modestly. "Your fans on Weibo call you Dr. Hua." "Yeah, that's because of my job. Many people go to my place to register and see a doctor. They're used to calling me doctor. I like it too." "Suyu likes it too," Zheng Rose said. Huamin's hand that was holding the glass paused awkwardly. "I'm not saying this to embarrass you. I've been living in Suyu's mansion for a while." "Yeah, I heard you two are dating." Huamin looked up at Zheng Rose. "We're fake. I'm helping Suyu, and he's doing the same to prevent my family from forcing me to go on blind dates. We're partners." Zheng Rose told Huamin the truth. "Oh, I see." Huamian continued to lower her head calmly. No one knew what she was thinking. "But I really admire Suyu. Yes, he is very outstanding and deserves to be admired by many girls," Huamin praised. "So even though he's so outstanding, you've never fallen for him?" Zheng Rose asked her. Huamin raised his head with a complicated look in his eyes. This question was difficult to answer. "Don't look at me like that. I didn't prepare any recordings or cameras. I'm not trying to trick you. I just really think that Suyu is very outstanding. He's been by your side for so many years. Have you really never been moved by him? Have you ever loved someone?" Huamin asked Zheng Rose. "Of course." Zheng Rose suddenly thought of her heartless boyfriend. "No, the love I'm talking about is not the kind of love that you understand. It's when you love someone with all your life, to the point where you don't care about life and death." "That's not true." Zheng Rose shook her head. Although she liked that scumbag, she wasn't willing to die for him. If you love someone with all your life and death, you'll know that your heart, mind, and eyes are all filled with that person. No matter how excellent the people around you are, or how good they are to you, you'll be indifferent to them. Humans have evolved for so many years and are at the top of the food chain. They should be the most loyal creatures in the world, but the current social environment has changed a lot of things. I know what you mean. You're saying that you only have your husband in your heart. You only love him, no matter how excellent the others are. Zheng Rose summarized what Huamin was trying to say. Huamin smiled slightly. "Something like that. Dr. Hua, you look good when you smile. I saw a picture of you on Suyu's phone. You're wearing a doctor's white coat and glasses. You're very beautiful. So, should I take your words as a compliment or an insult?" Huamin looked at Zheng Rose quietly. Chapter 3262. To be honest, I think it's more like a compliment because I can't get anything from you. I don't need to lick your boots. You're not a streamer, and I'm not a fan, right? Zheng Rose said frankly. "Okay, but I don't like your compliment." Huamin lowered his head again and said in a low voice. "Dr. Hua, thank you for having coffee with me today. Let's call it a day." Zheng Rose stood up gracefully. "Aren't you going to ask me what Suyu likes and dislikes? Have you done your homework?" Huamin thought Zheng Rose wanted to get some useful information from him. After all, know your enemy and know yourself, and you'll win every battle. Many women had used this method before, although they didn't succeed. Zheng Rose smiled. "No, I don't think it's useful. If Suyu likes you, he'll like you if you're a baked potato. If Suyu doesn't like me, I'll be a lobster and it'll be a waste of effort. So, His mood depends on the person, not these things. Okay, that's a good idea. You've impressed me. Huamin admired this woman. It's nothing. I just like my true self. Someone once suggested that I imitate your temperament, dress like you, and even get a job in the hospital. But I refuse because no matter how well I imitate you, I can't surpass you. I think the most important thing between people is honesty. Maybe I'm like this, a little neurotic and a little manly, but I still hope that Suyu will like me one day, the real me without any disguise. Good. For this reason alone, I hope you can succeed, Huamin said sincerely as he stood up slowly. Thank you, Dr. Hua. I hope I can have afternoon tea with you in the future. Zheng Ro paid the bill at the counter and waited for Huamin at the door. I'll go now. You can go upstairs, Zheng Ro said. All right. I won't tell Suyu that we've met. Don't worry. Huamin thought Zheng Ro was afraid that he would tell Suyu about their meeting. With Suyu's personality, he should have lost his temper. No, I'm not worried about that. I just want to say that you're pregnant now. You have to be careful when you go up and down the stairs. Thank you. Just like that, the two women parted ways downstairs. When Huamin was about to go upstairs, he passed by a dessert shop and bought 2 ice cream cones. When Huamin reached the top floor, Suyu was in the middle of a video conference. President Hua, why are you here? Shaoan was surprised to see Huamin. I'm here to look for Suyu. President Su is having a video conference inside. It's okay. I'll wait at the door until he finishes. Huamin smiled. No, I think you'd better go in. If President Su knows that I made you wait at the door, he'll break my legs. Huamin, it's true. I don't want to be the scapegoat. If you don't believe me, just watch. Shaoan picked up the intercom at the door and dialed a number. President Su, Dr. Hua is waiting for you at the door. Suyu immediately replied. What are you waiting for? Let her in. Okay. After hanging up, Shaoan gave Huamin a profound look. It meant that he was right, wasn't he? Huamin didn't think much of it. With a smile, he pushed open the door to Suyu's office. Chapter 3263. Why are you here? Suyu immediately turned off the video conference and stood up, looking pleasantly surprised. What? Am I not welcome? Don't talk nonsense. Sit down. Suyu hurried over. Huamin sat down on the sofa. Asked him to get you a glass of water. You can't drink in your current state. No, I'm full of water. I'm eating ice cream. Do you want some? Huamin took out an ice cream and took a bite. He gave the other one to Suyu. Puffed. This is for women to eat, right? How can a man eat ice cream? Forget it. I'll go out and give it to him. It'll be a pity if it melts. It's more than 10 yuan. Huamin stood up to go find and no. Give it back. Suyu changed his mind. Didn't you say men don't eat ice cream? Huamin looked disgusted. I mean, most men don't like it, but I'm okay with it. Huh. It's more than 10 yuan. Don't give it to him. It's expensive. Huamin, it's not as expensive as Haagen-Dazs. Stop fooling around, Mr. Rich. Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Suyu stood up and naughtily snatched the ice cream away from Huamin and began to eat. Zheng Ro is right. If a man likes you, everything you buy is good. Everything you do is right. If he didn't like you, you'd feel embarrassed even if you dug your heart out. Why did you suddenly come here? Why didn't you send me a WeChat message? I came out for a walk. You're a few months pregnant. Don't wander around. Stay at home and take care of the baby. I'm pregnant, not sick. I'm not that delicate, okay? Huamin chuckled. If you come out alone, Qin Chu will be worried. I'm not alone. I brought bodyguards and a driver. Huamin emphasized. All right, you win. Suyu realized that Huamin's mouth really couldn't beat hers. If he said one sentence, she would say 10. Is it good? Huamin looked at Suyu, whose mouth was full of cream, and felt a little funny. Delicious. Now that you're done eating, I'll get down to business. Go ahead. I'm listening. Suyu knew that she wouldn't come to Imperial Star for no reason. It wasn't Huamin's character. Jixin told me that you were going to give him a gift. Yeah, isn't this kid getting engaged? I've prepared a gift for him. But we're not accepting gifts this time. Jixin and Bella wanted to keep it simple and low-key. That's why we chose a hotel owned by the company. We didn't invite the media, nor did we invite friends from the business world. We'll only invite our colleagues, family, and friends. It's because we're friends that I want to give him a gift. It's not good to go empty-handed. It's for luck. But you're too scary. Don't give him a car. Jishin has a car. My husband just replaced it. Then I'll give him a house. So you didn't think much of it. I don't want a house. Then I'll give him jewelry, antiques, calligraphy, and paintings. I'll give him whatever he likes. Suyu seemed determined to give him a gift. Suyu, Jishin doesn't want anything. You don't have to give him a gift. Please don't do this, okay? Hwamin's tone was pleading when he said this, and his eyes showed that he was in a difficult position. Suyu finally reacted. Did he do something wrong? Mion, did I cause you trouble? Suyu put down the unfinished ice cream in his hand and asked Hwamin seriously. Chapter 32-64. It's not a problem. We've been friends for so long. Do you think I don't know what kind of person you are? Suyu lowered his head awkwardly, as if he knew that his stubbornness put Hwamin in a difficult position. So you don't think too much. I'm not blaming you. I just think that you don't have to be too nice to Jishin. He already has everything, and I don't want to teach him to show off his wealth and vanity. After all, he and I were born as commoners, and we're different from you and Tang Chuan. I know. Suyu nodded. And this time, no one is giving him gifts, only you. Are you stupid? Hwamin looked at Suyu jokingly. I have money, and I'm happy to do it, Suyu also joked. You're a typical rich fool. The two of them bickered, and the atmosphere was no longer as awkward as before. How are you feeling now? Suyu looked at Hwamin and suddenly asked, What do you mean? Aren't you 3 months pregnant? Do you feel any discomfort? You're talking about the second baby. He's very naughty, and the fetal movements are a bit early and frequent, Hwamin said as he held his stomach. Are you okay? Do you want to go to the hospital for a checkup? Suyu was a bit worried. I'm a doctor myself, so I'm fine. After Jishin's things are done, I'll go back to work. Then, I'll be at the hospital every day, and I'll be fine. If there are any problems, I'll be able to deal with them nearby. Pooh, don't say it like that. You'll be fine. Suyu was nervous. Why are you nervous? I'm really fine. Having a baby isn't a big deal. It's something that all women do. I'm not that unreasonable. You're already like this. Why are you still going to work? I don't understand, Suyu complained. If you could understand, then I wouldn't be Hwamin. Does Chinshu agree? That's too much. If you ask me, you should stay at home and take care of the baby, Suyu suggested. Mr. Chin agreed. He knows that I'm a person who can't sit still. Okay, I really don't understand you and your wife, but you really have to take care of yourself. I know, don't worry. Are you hungry? I'll take you to eat something. It's okay. I came from GK and had hot pot with my husband. I'm not hungry. I was just passing by and wanted to see you. Hwamian didn't tell him directly that she was here because of what Jishin had told her. She didn't want to upset him. Then I'll ask someone to make you a glass of milk. Of you, TT of Steet. Go to the hotel earlier this weekend. Your friends need to help you out. Don't worry, I'll be there early. About the gift, Hwamin glanced at Suyu worriedly. You don't have to walk me out, Suyu said on purpose. Hwamian smiled in relief, waved her hand, and walked out. Walk me on downstairs and make sure she gets into the car, Suyu said worriedly. Okay, President Su. Hwamin left Imperial Star and went to pick up the kids from school. On the way, the twins were sullen and didn't talk to their mother. What's wrong with you two today? Hwamin looked at the twins. Pudding lowered her head and didn't speak with her cell phone in her hand. Little Bean couldn't help but look up. Mommy, I don't like Zheng Ro. Can you get rid of her? Chapter 32-65. Hwamin, Mommy, don't tell me you don't remember her. She's the woman who's clinging to Handsome Sue's house, Little Bean emphasized. I know she's Zheng Ro. She's really annoying. My sister and I both hate her, Little Bean said. Why? Hwamin was confused. Because she's a scheming bitch. She came from another city and clung to Handsome Sue. She even exposed those disgusting things, live-streamed in Handsome Sue's house, and created a Weibo account. She's really disgusting. Women who use men to get ahead are the worst. Little Bean, you don't know her well. Don't jump to conclusions, Huamin explained patiently. I don't want to know her. I know she's not good enough for handsome Sue, just like bitch Jian. Huamin was so angry that he laughed. Then who do you think is good enough for handsome Sue? Little Bean thought for a moment and tilted her head to look at her sister. Sis, what do you think is good enough for handsome Sue? Mommy's sudden question confused me. Pudding slowly raised her head and glanced at Little Bean and then at Mommy. Then she said, I think only an excellent woman like Mommy is good enough for handsome Sue. Huamin was about to speak when Pudding said, but Mommy is already taken, and Daddy seems to be better than handsome Sue. If your daddy heard that, he'd be smug. Huamin chuckled. So, I think we're the only ones who are good enough for handsome Sue, Pudding said. Puff. Huamin almost spat out blood. Mommy, don't listen to her nonsense. She's just trying to scare you. Little Bean comforted her mother. Mommy, I have a selfish idea. Pudding's expression suddenly turned serious. What idea? I think handsome Sue should be single for the rest of his life. Huamin, really? I think with his temper, he won't fall in love with anyone else. I might as well spend my life like this. How can that be? The Sue family only has one son. Your great-grandfather, Lord Sue, and Grandma Sue only have one son, Suyu. Are you trying to end the Sue family line? Huamin objected firmly. Mommy, you're outdated. IVF is all the rage now, Pudding said. That's right, Mommy. We can ask handsome Sue to do IVF and give birth to 7 babies. Little Bean smiled. Huamin, all right, let's end our chat here. Huamin felt that there was a serious generation gap between him and his daughters. There was no way he could communicate with them. He was going crazy. Mommy, if you don't help us, we'll have to deal with Zheng Ro ourselves, Little Bean said. Everyone calm down. Don't cause any trouble, Huamin scolded. She knew her 2 daughters' tempers. They were especially hostile to the women around Suyu. Huamin didn't know what kind of person Zheng Ro was or why she came to Suyu. But from the bottom of her heart, she didn't want Suyu to be single for the rest of his life. If he couldn't find someone Suyu liked, he would marry someone who liked him. At least she could treat him gently for the rest of his life. Huamin was selfish when it came to love, since she only had Qin Chu in her heart. But when it came to friendship, she was sincerely disappointed that Suyu had someone to take care of him and stay by his side, so that he wouldn't be lonely for the rest of his life. When they got home, the kids immediately ran around the living room happily. Huamin went upstairs to take a shower. Lying in bed to rest, he opened his WeChat moments out of boredom and found it was especially lively today. Everyone was watching Tang Chuan. Chapter 3266. Didn't Qin Ning return to the United States to handle her resignation? Ever since Qin Ning got together with Tang Chuan, she didn't stay in the U.S. anymore. Instead, she went back to China every other day. In the end, Qin Chu's second uncle agreed to let his daughter marry Tang Chuan, but Qin Ning had a lot of work in the U.S. So, even if she quit, she had to finish what she started. The Tang family had a lot of things to deal with recently, so Tang Chuan couldn't stay with Qin Ning and her father all the time. Qin Ning was in a good mood when she arrived in the U.S. Maybe it was because she was going to leave the U.S. and come back to live. So many friends invited her to dinner every day. That night, during the day in the U.S., Qin Ning posted a group photo. In the photo, there was a handsome foreign man with his arm around Qin Ning's shoulder, smiling brightly. Qin Ning said sadly, "This is my best friend, Jim. I've known him for many years." It wasn't a big deal, but Tang Chuan saw it and got jealous. He commented, "Where is he putting his hand?" Zhu Lingling, "Ha ha ha, someone's jealous." Jiang Xiaowei, "I smell someone spilled a bottle of vinegar." Pudding, "Aunties, do you want to eat dumplings tonight? We have a lot of vinegar." Little Bean, "To be honest, this man is a good match for my auntie." Tang Chuan replied to Little Bean, "Little brat, are you worthy of your uncle? Are you worthy of all the Haagen-Dazs I've treated you to?" Little Bean replied to Tang Chuan, "Huh, I'm just saying. Uncle Tang, don't get so worked up. You're old and your heart is weak. Take it easy." Tang Chuan replied to Little Bean, "You're adding insult to injury? Little Bean, I've been doting on you for nothing. When I see Gao Buyuan tomorrow, I'll tell him your true colors. Little Bean replied to Tang Chuan. Go ahead, but Buyuan won't believe you. Other than his parents, he trusts me the most. Haha. Tang Chuan, look. You're still so young, but you already know how to show off your affection in front of me. Now that your aunt has left, you're bullying me because I'm single, right? Little Bean replied to Tang Chuan. It's such a lonely night. You could go find handsome Sue to keep you company. You don't have to turn into a jealous little man on WeChat. Haha. Pudding replied to Little Bean. Handsome Sue is no longer single. He has a boyfriend in the villa. It's not appropriate for Uncle Tang to go. Tang Chuan wanted to cry, but had no tears. Little brat, just keep playing. It hurts my heart, you know? Little Bean replied to Tang Chuan. You're the one I'm trying to prick. A fragile heart is a disease that needs to be treated and medicine must be taken. I'll introduce you to a good hospital, Southside Recuperation Center's neurology department. Dr. Huo Min is the director of the hospital. She's pretty, low-key, and doesn't charge much. Tang Chuan replied to the twins. You're all bad people. Oof. Huo Min almost burst out laughing when he saw the conversation. The scene of the twins bullying Tang Chuan was really cute. When Qin Chu came back, he saw Huo Min lying on the bed and giggling with his cell phone. What are you looking at? You look so happy. Tang Chuan's WeChat moments. Huo Min got up and showed his cell phone to Qin Chu. Qin Chu saw it and only smiled slightly. Pudding and Little Bean are really bullies. Your daughters never let themselves be bullied. By the way, is Su Yu's girlfriend real? Have you seen her before? Qin Chu asked casually. Then he took off his suit jacket and hung it in the closet. It's the first time I've seen her. Huo Min didn't hide it. Oh, what kind? Is she Su Yu's type? Qin Chu was actually quite concerned about Su Yu. Chapter 3267. I don't know if that's the case, but it looks like that girl is different from the previous ones. Huo Min recalled everything he knew about Zheng Ro. Oh, how so? Qin Chu was interested in Huo Min's comment. I'm not sure. I just think the girl is smart, but not scheming. Her words and actions are honest. Good. What did Su Yu say about her? Su Yu hasn't officially introduced her to us, and we haven't been to his house to see her. Is the rumor true? Huo Min chuckled. Okay, let's see if Su Yu will bring her to Ji Xin's engagement party. Then they looked at each other and smiled. Su Yu's house. Zheng Ro had been here for some days. Bored, she cooked for herself every day. At first, Su Yu was used to her cooking and never ate. But one day, when Zheng Ro was making pancakes and eating with it in the dining room, Su Yu took a bite and couldn't stop. Zheng Ro's cooking wasn't the best, but it was good. She even knew how to cook home-cooked dishes. Compared to the greasy food outside, her cooking was perhaps more earthly. Gradually, Su Yu got used to eating at home. Today, Zheng Ro came home early and was making dumplings in a good mood. Wow, Miss Ro, you're making dumplings today? And went over and asked. Yeah, what kind of filling? And asked again. Chives and eggs. But President Su loves to eat meat. He can't live without meat, and reminded her. If he likes it, he can eat it outside. I'm not making it for him. I like chives and eggs. And felt embarrassed for the president. What about you? Do you like vegetable fillings? Zheng Ro looked up and asked I'm okay with anything, and nodded. Then I'll make more. Let's eat together, Zheng Ro said as she picked up the dumpling wrappers and wrapped them delicately. What about President Su? And looked at Su Yu, who was watching TV. Let him be. He's rich and won't starve. Zheng Ro didn't ask Su Yu if he wanted to eat. She only made enough for 2 people. At dinner, Su Yu smelled the aroma and sat down at the table, waiting for the food. And then Zheng Ro looked at each other awkwardly. Su Yu, Zheng Ro's words. Yeah, have you had dinner? Of course, why would I sit here and wait if I ate? Su Yu rolled his eyes at her. Well, Shaun said you like meat stuffing. Yes, I do like meat, but the dumplings I made are vegetable fillings. Or you. Zheng Ro was about to shoo Su Yu away from the table when he said, but I feel dizzy. She heard him say, however, eating meat these past few days has made me dizzy. My mom said that at my age, I have to prevent high blood pressure or something. I can't eat meat all the time. I have to eat vegetables occasionally. Okay. Zheng Ro didn't dare to say more. Why are you standing there? Sit down. Su glanced at Zheng Ro and in present Su, in fact, Miss Zheng's dumplings, and was about to tell the truth and go to the kitchen to make some noodles. After all, he couldn't steal food from his master. Zheng Ro said, "In fact, I'm a good cook. The dumplings must be delicious. You two should eat more." Then, she put down the dumplings and turned to go upstairs. "Hey, what about you?" And looked at Zheng Ro. "I'm on a diet. I'm not hungry. You guys eat." Looking at Zheng Ro's back as she went upstairs and felt bad. President Su, in fact, and said awkwardly, "In fact, she only made enough dumplings for the two of you. She didn't make enough for me, right?" Su said, "You knew," and was surprised. Su nodded. "If you knew, why did you do it?" And didn't understand his boss. Chapter 3268. Su sighed slightly and said to Ind, "When two people get along, they should reveal their weaknesses as soon as possible so that the other party will back off. Unfortunately, most people in the world don't understand this. They try their best to hide their weaknesses and show off their weaknesses when they're in love. However, after marriage, they reveal their true colors, which leads to the ultimate tragedy. Many women like to complain that their husbands don't treat them as well as before after marriage. In fact, it's men who reveal their true colors after marriage. President Su, you've never been in a relationship. I'm surprised you have such a deep understanding of it." And was astonished. "Of course, even if I haven't eaten pork, I've seen pigs run." Su rolled his eyes at him. "So, you're saying that you want to show your shortcomings to Miss Singh now? I have weaknesses. No one is perfect. Even a man like Qin Shu isn't perfect. So, I'm not afraid of showing my weaknesses. It's good for Zheng Ro to see my true colors and back off as soon as possible. Otherwise, she'll end up wasting her time with me." Su was very rational about Zheng Ro. In the beginning, he didn't like her. Although he was a little used to her now, he was still rational. At least, he didn't like her. What if Miss Zheng sees your true colors and doesn't leave? Then we'll talk about it. Who knows what will happen in the future? Su said vaguely and lowered his head to eat the dumplings, and was a little confused. Did his boss's words mean that if Miss Zheng insisted on staying with him, would he accept Zheng Ro as his woman? However, she suddenly realized that something wasn't right. The boss was obviously forcing Zheng Ro to leave. "President Su, if Miss Hua was the one making the dumplings today, would you still do this?" And asked cautiously. At the mention of Hua Min, Su Yu's eyes unconsciously showed a trace of gentleness. "Of course not. If Mian were here, I'd give her all the dumplings and we'd watch," Su Yu answered without hesitation. We're both women, but the difference in treatment is so big." Shaoan sighed softly. "That's because one of them is someone I like and the other is someone I don't like. It's as simple as that. So you might be in a good mood today." Hence he explained to him, "Well, it seems like the one you like is the happiest one. The one who likes you seems to be in pain," Shaoan complained. However, Su did not respond. Late at night, Zheng Ro was hungry, so she turned on the light and went downstairs to find something to eat. Although Su had eaten all the dumplings today, Zheng Ro was actually quite happy. After all, she didn't lack the dumplings. If this matter really made Su have a little bit of affection for her, then it was worth it. Zheng Ro suddenly felt ashamed. She used to hate scheming bitches and disdained to be associated with such women. But now, why was she so scheming? She had to use the illusion that she was starving to gain Su Yu's favor. It was also sad. With a slight sigh, she walked to the living room and was about to turn on the light. "Are you hungry?" A man was sitting on the sofa. Since the light was off, it was dark. Zheng Ro was startled. "Are you a human or a ghost?" she asked. "Of course. Is there a ghost as handsome as me?" Su pressed the remote control and turned on the dim light in the living room. The warm light fell on him. Wearing home clothes, Su looked more approachable than usual. Chapter 3269. It's late. Why aren't you sleeping? Zheng Ro tried to find topic. I'm waiting for a lab rat to come down and steal food. Humph. If you didn't steal my dumplings, I wouldn't have to come down in the middle of the night to look for food. How dare you say that? If I knew your dumplings tasted so bad, I'd rather eat instant noodles, Suyu said. Whoa, are you trying to take advantage of your seniority? Xingro looked at Suyu, exasperated and amused. Yeah, what? Are you going to bite me? Forget it. I don't want to get rabies. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm hungry. Xingro didn't want to talk to Suyu and was about to walk to the fridge. The fridge is empty. Damn it. You did that on purpose, didn't you? Xingro turned to look at Suyu. There's bread here. I don't think it's hairy. Check it before you eat it. Then, Suyu stood up and stuffed the bread into Xingro's hand. Before she could react, Suyu continued, Tomorrow is little brother Mion's engagement party. You'll come with me. Huh? Xingro didn't understand. Suyu didn't repeat himself. When he turned to go upstairs and almost reached the second floor, Xingro finally understood. She asked excitedly, I can go to some events with you? Wow, it's your good friends. Suyu, are you in love with me? Xingro asked the question jokingly to lighten the mood. To her surprise, Suyu stood on the second floor and glanced at Xingro. Then, he said faintly, If I had a girlfriend, Mion would be happier. Then I wouldn't cause her so much trouble. Then, Suyu went up to the third floor and walked toward his bedroom. Damn it, that hurts. Xingro stood there and murmured to herself. She had done her homework before coming here and knew that Suyu was a stubborn man who loved that woman wholeheartedly for a long time. His love for her had never changed before she came. Auntie Sue had told her that her nephew had a fiery temper, and it was normal for him to say unpleasant things. When he was angry, it was normal for him to throw Xingro out. Xingro was mentally prepared. She was even prepared to eat and drink at Suyu's house shamelessly. But tonight's conversation was really unexpected. She had thought that going out with him to meet his friends would be a form of recognition for her. However, Suyu clearly told her that everything was for Huamin. Because he had a girlfriend, Huamin was no longer troubled. Even though Xingro didn't fall in love with Suyu, she still felt sad. Downstairs, he calmed down and looked at the bread in his hand. The expiry date was obviously today. It seemed that Suyu had gone out at night and had just bought it. He even tried to scare her by saying that it might grow fur. This man was a classic example of someone who was tough on the outside but soft on the inside. Xingro's cold heart instantly warmed up. Suyu, you're really a weirdo, but I'm very interested in continuing to fight with you. Xingro smiled and opened the bread to take big bites. The next morning, when Suyu went downstairs, he didn't see the usual breakfast. What's going on today? Don't we need to eat? Suyu asked. Miss Zeng is upstairs putting on makeup. She said that she won't be cooking today and told everyone to go hungry first. We'll eat at Jixin's engagement party at noon, and said, Fuck. Suyu couldn't help but curse. As a godly tycoon, did he really need to eat at someone else's engagement party instead of his own home? If word got out, wouldn't he be laughed at? At this moment, Xingro came downstairs. Suyu had thought that this woman would be dressed up to the nines like the other actresses in his company, with heavy makeup and gorgeous makeup. Unfortunately, he was stunned when he saw her. Chapter 3270. They had thought that a rich girl like Xingro, especially the daughter of a high-ranking official, would have princess syndrome like Song Yishur. The food, the clothes, and the car they drove were all very exquisite. After all, Xingro's father was a high-ranking figure and should wear an evening gown and shoes worth at least 10,000 yuan. However, when Xingro came down, both Suyu and him froze. She was wearing a pair of thin black pencil pants, a pair of high-heeled sandals with black edges, and a navy striped checkered shirt. It was a loose-fitting men's shirt, but it didn't look out of place on her. Not only did it not make her look fat, but it also accentuated her exquisite figure. This method of travel was truly heaven-defying. Her hair was tied up in a simple ponytail, and she wore delicate light makeup instead of heavy makeup. Her lips weren't flaming red. Her lips were painted with colorless lipstick, and the only exaggerated thing was the two relatively large earrings on her ears, which were in the shape of rings. However, it matched her casual outfit very well. Why are you looking at me like that? Is it inappropriate? Zheng was a bit embarrassed. It's okay, Suyu said as he looked up and rubbed the tip of his nose, and gave her a thumbs up and said, handsome. Yes, Zheng was young, and not all girls had the aura of a mature older sister. Some girls even had the opposite effect. But Zheng was dressed just right. She wasn't flashy or eye-catching, and she wasn't wearing designer clothes. Instead, she wore clothes with no logos and shoes. Although they weren't cheap, they were relatively low-key. But why didn't you wear an evening gown? If you didn't bring one, I can go buy one. It's urgent, Suyu said. No, I think I'm pretty. If I dress up, I'll steal the limelight from the main character. Today is her engagement party. I'd better dress casually. You're so narcissistic. Suyu finally admitted that he met someone who was more narcissistic than him. Haha, is narcissism a form of confidence? Then, Zheng picked up the new Armani sunglasses and put them on her nose. She walked out with a strong aura in her high heels. Then, she got into Suyu's Lamborghini. President Su, we should go. It's almost time. Suyu nodded and followed her out and got into his Lamborghini. President Su, where should I sit? And looked aggrieved. It was the first time they went out. Before and drove the car, Suyu or Suyuin. Now that Zheng was in the passenger seat and Suyu was in the driver's seat, there was no space for him. Just drive any car and follow behind us. Then, he stepped on the gas pedal and sped away. At the engagement party, it wasn't a party or people row and other people and friends and family. The rest were family and friends. Most of them were Bella and Jixin's relatives. Yang Meiyurong was in a good mood today. Huamin held his mother's arm and greeted the guests. Qin Chu chatted with Rick on the side. The twins danced with their grandparents like little elves. Hey, look, young Master Su is here. The woman beside him. Is she his rumored girlfriend? Yeah, I heard she's pretty. Yeah, she has a good temperament. I don't think she's from an ordinary family. While people talked, Suyu and Zheng walked in. Different from Jiantong and Zhao Qingya's women, Zheng didn't hold Suyu's hand on purpose. They didn't touch each other and walked in together. Like celebrities walking the red carpet, they walked with ease. Crack! Someone's wine glass fell to the ground. Sis, are you okay? Cece looked at her sister worriedly. Chapter 32:71. I'm fine, Nialing Xian said in a low voice as she wiped her wet hands. Sis, it's normal for him to have a girlfriend. Don't be like this. I'm worried about you. Cece found that her sister had been absent-minded recently, especially when she saw the rumors about Suyu. Her sister was a very timid person and kept everything to herself. Suyu didn't even know that her sister was sincere. He thought she was just like all the other actresses in the company who wanted to become a phoenix. But Cece knew her sister wasn't like that. Her sister even said that she wished Suyu was an ordinary employee, and they wouldn't have so many obstacles. But Cece had asked her sister if Suyu wasn't the heir of the Su family and the president of Imperial Star. Would her sister still like him? Nialing Xuan's answer was yes. Because he was Suyu, she only liked him. Even if the Su family went bankrupt and Suyu ended up on the streets, she would still be with him. Unfortunately, Suyu didn't know her sister's love for him. Handsome Su. Little Bean's sharp eyes spotted Suyu, and she immediately ran over. She hugged Suyu's leg tightly. Suyu squatted down and picked Little Bean up lovingly. You're early. Of course. My uncle is engaged. I have to show him some respect, Little Bean said smugly. How's school life these days? Don't mention it. Those kids aren't on the same level as me and my sister. There's a generation gap. They're still young. Little Bean answered like an adult. Suyu laughed heartily. Huh, handsome Su. Is this your new nanny? Little Bean glanced at Zheng who was beside him, and asked deliberately. When Little Bean said this, her big eyes looked cute as if she didn't do it on purpose. But Zheng knew this little girl was full of hostility toward her. What nanny? Suyu didn't understand. Uncle said there's a new woman living in your house. She cooks for you, cleans the house, and washes handsome Su's clothes all day long. I'm guessing she's a nanny. Nannies do all these chores, right? Suyu glanced at Zheng awkwardly. The twins had always been mischievous, and he could not control the situation. "Hello, Little Bean. I'm Suyu's new nanny." Ugh. Zheng Ro tilted her head and said deliberately, "How do you know I'm Little Bean?" "Because they all say that Little Bean is passionate and unrestrained while Pudding is calm and collected." "I knew you were Little Bean from the way you rushed over," Zheng Ro guessed. "You think you're smart? You know so much about us. You must have investigated us. What's your motive?" Little Bean glared at Zheng Ro. "I do have an ulterior motive. I want to be promoted from a junior nanny to a senior nanny, so I need you and your sister to put in a few good words for President Su." If you wish. I'll ask handsome Su to fire you in a few days. Take your salary and get out of here. Don't do that. My whole family depends on this salary." "Don't be so cruel, Little Bean," Zheng Ro continued to say to Little Bean, and chuckled behind them. It seemed Zheng Ro's attitude toward Little Bean was also surprising. Just as Little Bean was about to retort, Huamin let go of his mother's hand and walked over. "Shoo, your mommy is here," Suyu reminded Little Bean in a low voice. Immediately, Little Bean shut up and snuggled up to Suyu's neck. "Handsome Su, I want to eat macarons, and all of them must be pink." "You're here." Huamin looked at Suyu and then at Zheng Ro. The two nodded. "Come on in. Everyone's waiting for you inside," Huamin said warmly. "Mommy, look, this is handsome Su's new nanny. She looks rustic, right? She's still wearing Armani glasses in this day and age. What's that saying again? Oh, right, I saw the netizens say that the poor wear gold, the rich wear leather, and the hooligans like Armani." Hearing Little Bean's words, Huamin felt awkward. Chapter 3272. Little Bean, you're right. When I was in school, the boys in my class call me a female gangster. Zheng Ro smiled, not feeling embarrassed. "Miss Zheng, I'm sorry. Little Bean is always like that. She likes to talk nonsense. I'll teach her a lesson. It's okay, Dr. Hua. Don't mind the words of a child." After the drama, Huamin was a bit angry and pulled Little Bean out of Suyu's arms. Then he took her to the side. "Little Bean, why did you talk to her like that?" "Mommy, I told you that I hate her. What if Uncle Su likes her? Do you hate her too?" Huamin asked her daughter. "We'll talk about it when Uncle Su likes her. At least he doesn't like her now. She's here shamelessly. It's annoying." Before Huamin could say anything, Little Bean made a face and ran away. No matter how smart the twins were, they were still children. When a child's nature came out, they were really crazy. As a mother, Huamin didn't listen to her no matter how much she scolded or hit them. She felt sorry for them, but was also helpless. Especially after the twins were kidnapped twice, Huamin cherished their mother-daughter relationship even more and rarely hit the twins. But if she didn't hit them, they were really lawless sometimes. Huamin didn't want them to be arrogant and uneducated when they grew up. When the time came, people might say that Huamin and Qin Shu's daughters were just SOSO. They were just a little rich and uneducated. Qin Shu walked over and put his hand on his wife's shoulder. "What are you thinking about? You look so lost in thought." "I'm thinking that the twins are getting more and more willful. What should I do?" "Take it easy. They're still young." Qin Shu comforted her. "But they know everything. They're doing it on purpose." Huamin was helpless. "Is it because Little Bean was rude to Suyu's girlfriend?" Qin Shu asked. "You know everything? This place is only so big. Everyone will know even the slightest movement." "Yeah, I don't know why, but this kid has a problem with Suyu's girlfriend. Even our calm and witty Pudding doesn't seem to like Zheng Ro," Huamin said worriedly. "The two of them have deep feelings for Suyu, so it's normal for them to be xenophobic for a while. They need time to get used to it." "I hope so." Cece couldn't bear to see her sister wallowing in grief. Maybe because Rick was there to support her, Cece dragged her sister to Suyu and Zheng Ro. "Cece, what are you doing?" "I'm not going." "It's okay, sister. Let's go over and say hello." Then the two sisters walked over to Suyu and the others. "Hi, President Su, you're here too." Cece greeted him with a smile. "Yeah." Suyu nodded politely. "This is—" Cece asked Suyu purposely as she looked at Zheng Ro beside him. Yelling, she didn't even dare to raise her head to look at Suyu or the woman beside him. "This is—" Suyu was about to introduce Zheng Ro to him. "I'm Zheng Ro. Zheng Ro introduced herself. She didn't emphasize that she was related to Su Yu because she knew that if she introduced herself as his girlfriend and Su Yu denied it, she would be slapped in the face. "Oh, Miss Zheng, you're President Su's rumored girlfriend, right?" Cece asked with a smile. Nie Lingxian pinched her sister hard to stop her from asking more questions. She suddenly felt embarrassed. "I said it's just a rumor. It's meaningless to ask more, right?" Zheng Ro answered vaguely. She didn't admit or deny it. "How's your injury?" Su Yu glanced at Nie Lingxian and asked. As the boss of the company, he vaguely remembered that Nie Lingxian seemed to be slightly injured when she was absent-mindedly filming a fight scene. "Sister, say something. President Su cares about you," Cece said loudly on purpose. Chapter 3273. President Su, I'm fine. Thank you for your concern. I'll cancel my leave and go back to work soon. Nie Lingxian was always submissive in front of Su Yu. It was similar to Hinata's feelings toward Naruto in Naruto. "Don't worry. We'll talk about it after you recover." "Thank you, President Su. Then we won't disturb you anymore." Then Nie Lingxian quickly pulled her sister away. "Sis, what are you doing? Why are you leaving so quickly? Talk more." Cece was displeased with her sister's behavior. "Don't you see President Su is with his girlfriend? Let's not disturb them," she said sadly. On the other side, Zheng Ro looked puzzled at first and then glanced at Su Yu. "This girl also likes you, right? Su Yu, come on. Tell me how many other girls like you. I'll gather them all together and get rid of them all," Zheng Ro said jokingly. "Su Yu, huh? I'm joking. Don't look at me so seriously. I'm not used to it. Okay, since we're here, let's do our own thing. You go to your business or something. I'm going to find something to eat. I didn't eat breakfast this morning and my stomach hurts." Then Zheng Ro turned and dashed to the dessert area. So he was also confused. Just as he was about to find Wei Liao and Tang Chuan, Pudding suddenly appeared out of nowhere. She pulled Su Yu's hand. "Handsome Su. Hey, Pudding. Why didn't I see you just now? I went to the washroom." "Huh, I see. I was wondering why you weren't with Little Bean." Su Yu picked up Pudding and put her on a high chair. Then he sat down beside her. Su Yu got Pudding a glass of orange juice. "Handsome Su, is that woman the new one in your family?" "Yeah." "What's her background?" Pudding asked casually. Unlike Little Bean, Pudding was always rational and asked about her enemy first. "He's from the provincial capital. How should I put it? He's the second generation of an official." Because of Zheng Ro's father's special identity, Su Yu didn't want to be too ostentatious. "Oh, no wonder they have the power to force their way into your home," Pudding said calmly as she stuck the straw into the quilt. "Little Bean scolded her just now." "Ha, what's wrong? You're not going to give her a hard time, right? Why? Is your heart aching? What a joke. How could that be? If you want to be Su Yu's woman, you'd be too weak if you can't withstand such a small storm." Su Yu joked. "Handsome Su, are you really going to be with her?" "Love isn't a game." Pudding looked away and said in all seriousness. "Pudding, what I'm doing might be the best ending, isn't it? Your mommy might be able to live a better life." Su Yu's voice was very small. Pudding knew Su Yu didn't really like Zheng Ro and wasn't happy about it. "Handsome Su, you're a good man. There must be a woman who is good enough for you." "I hope so. So, you have to be careful about marriage. Don't marry this woman easily. At least, don't make any important decisions before you know why she wants to get close to you," Pudding said. "Of course, living in my home doesn't mean I'm going to marry her. Besides, there's nothing between us. Don't think too much about it." Su Yu flicked Pudding's head and spoke from the bottom of his heart. Seeing Su Yu's attitude, Pudding guessed Zheng Ro's current situation. She smiled faintly. Different from her sister, she wouldn't give Zheng Ro a hard time, but she didn't like her either. At lunchtime, a funny scene happened. Everyone was in pairs. Even Gao Buiyuan and Wei Yunshu were there. They sat with the twins. Even Su Yu, who had been single for thousands of years, brought a female companion, which was rare. Tang Chuan, on the other hand, looked out of place. "Mr. Tang, do you want to give a speech before lunch?" Wei Liao asked deliberately. Chapter 3274. Young Master Wei, you're causing trouble. Tang Chuan looked worried. Ha! I told you not to be so lovey-dovey before, but you didn't listen. What goes around comes around. Are you dumb now? Don't make it sound like I'm heartbroken. It's just that Ning Ning went back to the States to resign. When she comes back, I'll torture you guys to death. Tang Chuan said viciously. If Annie doesn't come back and runs away with someone else, you'll be dumb? Little Bean teased. Ba ba ba. Don't say such unlucky things. Okay, where's our revolutionary friendship, Little Bean? You two don't have a revolutionary friendship, only a foodie friendship. But I told you that foodies can't be trusted. They might sell you out one day. Pudding was also amused. Little girl, you know how to hit someone when they're down, right? Tang Chuan looked at Su Yu with a crying face. Lord Su, you're so unrighteous. You've been single for 10,000 years and always coming last. Why did you bring a date this time? Are you trying to torture me to death? You won't leave me a way out. I really didn't do it on purpose. Su Yu laughed. Go to hell. You definitely did it on purpose. So, let's all laugh at the single dog. How about it? Let's start with Jixin. Gao Ran added fuel to the fire. Jixin happily held Bella's hand. Forget about us. Today's our engagement. The protagonist halo is strong enough. Let's not torture the single dog. Tang Chuan was about to praise Jixin for being a good boy when Jixin said, but to me, young Master Tang isn't a dog. He's a wolf. So torture him. Young Master Tang, when are you and Qin Ning getting engaged? Oh my God, my heart hurts, my heart hurts. Tang Chuan clutched his chest, making everyone burst into laughter. Well done. Su Yu gave Jixin a thumbs up. Then, Zhu Lingling viciously leaned on Gao Ran's shoulder and said, Hubby, do you think we should use the same position as last night? Comrade Zhu Lingling, this is a public place. Please watch your language. Jiang Xiaowei laughed. Be careful, don't stop. Continue. Say more, we're all looking forward to it. Jiang Xiaowei's next words once again refreshed everyone's worldview. Tang Chuan pointed at Jiang Xiaowei with a look of dissatisfaction. Sister-in-law Xiaowei, you're a dignified doctor with such high academic qualifications. How can you be in cahoots with this group of people? You should be on my side, don't you understand? We're the two people with the highest IQ here. Ahem. Huamin coughed to remind everyone of their high IQ. Uncle Tang, you're shameless. When it comes to high IQ, who here can compare with my daddy and mommy? Little Bean tilted her head and showed off. Huamin covered his stomach and said, Hubby, your son just kicked me again. Honey, let's write it down. We'll kick him when he's born. Qin Chu hugged Huamin with one hand and gently stroked Huamin's stomach with the other. Dr. Hua, I always thought that you were the most honest and just person here. You wouldn't kick someone when they're down. It seems like you want to torture me to death. Tang Chuan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I really didn't want to, but I got excited when I saw you trying to steal the title of high IQ from me. Huamin deliberately provoked Tang Chuan. You bad bastards. I hate you guys. Tang Chuan pretended to cry. And Aiyong, you two could do it too. We've already tortured him. You two won't make a difference. Gao Ran looked at Aiyong and Chun Jie and said, we don't need to. Young Master Tang is already miserable enough. And Aiyong smiled gently. Torture him, of course. If you guys don't torture him today, I won't be happy. Come on, come on. I'm happy. Tang Chuan video called Qin Ning and then stood up to cheer. Chapter 3275. Since young Master Tang said so, then I won't hold back. And Aiyong looked at Chun Jie gently. I've been with Jie for so long, and we've never fought or gotten angry. I really think I've found the right wife. Whoa, I'm jealous. Gao Ran looked envious. What do you mean? Do you hate that I always fight with you? Zhu Lingling immediately pulled Gao Ran's ear. Hey, no. Honey, don't be impulsive. Impulsiveness is the devil. Gao Ran immediately comforted his wife. Big brother Rick, do you dare to show off too? Tang Chuan looked at Rick and jokingly provoked him. Everyone knew that Rick always kept a low profile. Even if he used WeChat, he rarely posted anything on his WeChat moments. Sisalik leaned on Rick's chest and said coquettishly, Our Rick calls me Baby Cece in private. Whoa, it's so sweet. Zhu Lingling chimed in. Really? Huamin looked at Rick with a half-smile. Rick's face immediately turned red. I think it's very believable. Wei Liao also guessed. Bro, do you want to say it right now, so we can hear it? Qin Chu rarely teased Rick. Rick, honey, just say it once. Your baby will hear it. She'll love Daddy a lot, Cece said coquettishly as she touched her round belly. Sure enough, Rick didn't refuse for the sake of the baby. Finally, he said in a low voice, Baby Cece, stop messing around. Let's talk about this at home. As soon as Rick finished speaking, the entire place was in an uproar. Finally, everyone looked at Su Yu. Lord Su, since it's your first time here with a girlfriend, show off. Don't hold back. Give us a good show. Huh? How about you kiss her for 3 minutes? Tang Chuan teased. 3 minutes? Okay. Come here, I'll kiss you. Su Yu waved at Tang Chuan. Why did you kiss me? I told you to kiss your girlfriend. Tang Chuan corrected him. Get lost. The children are watching. Don't play with me. Su Yu declined politely, somewhat embarrassed. It's okay, Uncle Su. We can close our eyes. Wei Yinshu was also a smart person. He added fuel to the fire. Brat, whose side are you on? Su Yu didn't know whether to laugh or cry as he glanced at Wei Liao's son. The twins didn't speak because they didn't seem to like Zheng Ro. Before Su Yu could say anything, Zheng Ro panicked. I remember that I ordered a bowl of hot noodle soup. Why hasn't it been served yet? I'll go and urge the kitchen. You guys can chat first. Then, under everyone's gaze, Zheng Ro ran away. Wow, your date was scared away. It seems she's a shy girl. Tang Chuan spread his hands and laughed. Do you think everyone is as thick-skinned as you? Su Yu chuckled. You've tortured me, haven't you? I'm not dead yet. Fortunately, I'm strong enough to still have a breath, Tang Chuan said smugly. At this moment, Little Bean quietly picked up the coconut milk sago and ran to Gao Buyan. Will you try this? It's delicious. Little Bean's voice was deliberately sweet. Damn, this ultimate move is lethal. Little Bean, you're cruel. How can you treat your uncle like this? Aren't you afraid that you'll have tooth decay from eating ice cream? Tang Chuan covered his chest and looked at Little Bean in an exaggerated manner. Everyone burst into laughter. Chapter 3276. You can't handle it? My sister hasn't even done anything yet. Little Bean looked at him with disdain. Tang Chuan glanced at Pudding. Pudding, Uncle Tang treats you well, I know, Pudding said calmly. So, you won't treat me like your heartless sister, right? Yeah, Pudding nodded. That's my good niece, so I'm a good friend and didn't add insult to injury when everyone was kicking you. Uncle Tang, how are you going to repay me? Pudding continued to ask. Tang Chuan suddenly had a bad feeling. So, Uncle Tang, you have a limited edition tea set. Can you give it to me? Which tea set? Tang Chuan played dumb. The one Uncle Tang brought back from C Nation. If it's too expensive, I'd be too embarrassed to accept it. It's not that expensive, but it's hard to get. Tang Chuan looked sad. So, even though I'm a good friend, you still don't want to give it to me, right? Pudding asked deliberately. I can pay Uncle Tang, no need. It's vulgar to talk about money. So, you agree to give it to me? Thank you, Uncle Tang. Pudding said happily. Okay. Kid, you win. Although you didn't kick me when I was down, you extorted a tea set from me. I'd rather kick you when you're down. Ning Ning, come back quickly. I'm going to die because of these bad guys. Tang Chuan whined to Qin Ning, who was watching the video on the other end of the phone. It's okay. Good boy, I'll be back soon. You gave Pudding a tea set, and you took so long. You're so stingy, Qin Ning said. Fuck, I'm stingy. Do you have a conscience? I just think it's hard to get. It's not a matter of money. You always say that we're a family. Is that a lie? Qin Ning asked. Of course not. That's why I had to give you face. Tang Chuan was on the verge of tears. Everyone laughed throughout the meal. The most high-profile Tang Chuan, who loved to show off his love the most, was played to a pulp today. It could be said that he had avenged Lord Su for the 1,000-year-old bachelor. Pudding also extorted a tea set. Just like that, Zhixin's engagement party ended with laughter. It was really low-key, and not a single media member was there. Throughout the entire process, there were two people who attended in a very low-key manner and did not sit together with everyone else. They were Shen Mingxi and Wei Ying. The two of them sat at another table. Moreover, the two of them were not even at the same table. They simply greeted each other. After the dinner party, Wei Ying walked out. Shen Mingxi saw that she came in a friend's car, so he went up to her and asked, "You didn't drive here?" "No, I hurt my foot." Wei Ying smiled. "What's wrong?" Shen Mingxi immediately looked down at Wei Ying's feet. "I sprained it 2 days ago when I was playing badminton. It hurts a lot. I didn't dare to drive because I was afraid it would be unsafe." "How could you be so careless?" Shen Mingxi's face was dark, as if he was blaming her. I didn't pay attention. I didn't think it would hurt so much." "Did you go to the hospital to see it?" "Yes, I did. They prescribed medicine and gave me a hot compress. I think I'll have a rest for a while. My mom often visits an old Chinese doctor. I heard he's very good at massaging. I'll ask her later. You could go see him. It's not a small matter. Don't be careless." "I know. Thank you, big brother Mingxi. Then I'll drive you back. It's not easy for you to get in and out of the car. I'm driving a Mercedes-Benz today." Shen Mingxi pointed at his car, knowing that the Mercedes-Benz was very comfortable. Wei Ying was about to speak when she heard someone call from behind her, "Ying Ying." Chapter 3277. Big Brother. Wei Ying looked back and saw Wei Liao and Jiang Xiaowei walking out. "Let's go home." "Oh, okay." Wei Ying nodded and turned to look at Shen Mingxi apologetically. "Big Brother Mingxi, you don't have to drive me home. I'll take my brother's car." "Okay. Go back and rest." "Okay. You too." Then Wei Ying turned to leave. Shen Mingxi was a bit disappointed. He didn't even look at Wei Ying when she chased after him. Wei Ying was no longer the silly girl she used to be. She knew when to speak and when to act. She had a good reputation in the socialite circle, and it was difficult for Shen Mingxi to see her. After Wei Ying got into the car, as expected, Wei Liao's face turned cold. "How many times have I told you not to have anything to do with that person? Big brother, we're just greeting each other. Don't get agitated." "How can I not get agitated? I still remember how shameful you were." "Okay. Ying Ying's back, right? Don't talk so much." Jiang Xiaowei couldn't stand her husband scolding his little sister and immediately spoke up for her. "Dad, don't scold Annie. She's very obedient now." Wei Yunchu also helped. "You're indeed my nephew." Wei Ying smiled and rubbed Wei Yunchu's head. "Of course. My Annie is completely different from before. Today, Pudding told me that the relationship between my Annie and Uncle Sean is, if I were to describe it in online slang, it would be, you used to ignore me, but now I'm out of your league." "Pooh, Pudding told you that?" Wei Ying chuckled. "Yeah, Pudding is amazing. She knows everything and made a lot of money by trading stocks. Mommy, I think I have to catch up with her. Otherwise, the gap between us will widen sooner or later. We won't have common topics to talk about and won't be on the same level. Then, we won't be on the same path." "Ha ha ha. Wei Liao, listen to your son." Jiang Xiaowei burst into laughter. "Our son was taught by you, and our daughter-in-law was also chosen by you." Wei Liao was also happy. "Yeah, Pudding can't be wrong, so we have to raise our son to be outstanding. He doesn't have to be too outstanding, just like his father-in-law, Qin Shu." "Ahem, sister-in-law, if this isn't outstanding, then aren't the two of you too ambitious? Won't you make things difficult for my nephew?" Wei Liao asked. "No, he likes Pudding. He's interested in everything Pudding does and is very motivated." Jiang Xiaowei looked at her son with pride. A famous five-star hotel in Brazil. When Lu Yan opened the door, she saw Amy stuffing something in a Xiao Fei's hands. "What are you doing?" Lu Yan's face turned cold. "Boss, aren't you on a mission?" Amy pulled back her hands in a panic, but the thing was still in Xiao Fei's hands. "Haha, it seems I came back at the wrong time." Lu Yan sneered. "No, I didn't mean it that way." Amy was still trying to explain. Xiao Fei didn't say a word, still holding the thing Amy had stuffed into his hands. He didn't even look closely at what it was. Lu Yan walked up to Xiao Fei, pulled the thing from his hands, and held it in her own hands. Haha, sachet. Not bad. You two are in the mood for leisure. Lu Yin smiled contemptuously. It was a hand-sewn sachet. It was red in vintage style, embroidered with the word peace on one side and Xiao Fei on the other. It was a token of love that a little girl gave to her sweetheart. Xiao Fei, you're awesome. Lu Yin turned to look at Xiao Fei and said with disappointment. Chapter 3278. What does it have to do with me? Xiao Fei was as calm as ever. You like the sachet, right? Lu Yin continued to ask. No. Then why do you still want it? She forced it on me. You're not in the wrong at all. Don't tell me you couldn't tell me was interested in you after all this time? Xiao Fei, boss, shut up. Lu Yin glared at Amy fiercely, which meant that Amy was not going to interrupt them when they were talking. Amy lowered her head and didn't dare to speak. So what? It's her business who she likes. It's my business who I like, Xiao Fei replied calmly. Oh, really? Then who do you like? Lu Yin asked him. Who do you think? How would I know? Lu Yin said in a huff. Lu Yin, do you have a conscience? Xiao Fei looked disappointed. Io. Now the person who's cheating on me is accusing me of being heartless. Xiao Fei, does everyone in your family like to slander others? I'm not going to take the blame for this. Lu Yin was furious. My family? Do you think I'm the same as them? Xiao Fei looked sad. The Qiao family had always been heartless, whether it was the eldest son Qiao Mo, the second son Xiao Nan, or the third son Xiao Fei. It was rare to find a trace of warmth in them. But Xiao Fei felt that he was still different from his brothers. Xiao Nan was the one who was cruel and merciless. Isn't it? Isn't your surname Qiao? I thought you'd be grateful to me after I left my family and came out with you. It seems I was wrong, Xiao Fei said. Grateful? Are you kidding? You eat, drink, and use my things. How can I be grateful to you? Do I have too much money to spend? If I throw it into the water, I can at least hear the sound. I don't need to spend so much money. Lu Yin sneered. Yin, are you serious? Are you kidding? The problem is, I want to be serious, but what about you? You went out behind my back and flirted with my daughter? Lu Yin roared. I didn't flirt with her. Then what are you doing? Why is the sachet still in your hand? Lu Yin asked. At this moment, Amy knelt before Lu Yin with a thud. Boss, I'm sorry. I couldn't control myself and fell in love with young Master Qiao. It has nothing to do with him. He doesn't know about this. I spent a long time making this sachet. I just wanted young Master Qiao to wear it to tell him that he's safe. I know you're the master and I'm the servant, so I didn't dare to have too much hope and fantasize. Boss, please punish me. It really has nothing to do with young Master Qiao. So, you want to take it all on your own? Lu Yin asked. It was my fault to begin with. I didn't want to affect the relationship between boss and young Master Qiao because of my subordinates. What's the point of saying that now? You're already affected. Lu Yin took out her gun and pointed it at Amy's head. His other subordinates were also scared stiff. Boss, don't be rash. Get out of my way. I'll take care of my own business, Lu Yin roared. The other subordinates immediately scrambled out of the room, leaving only Lu Yin, Xiao Fei, and Amy in the room. Amy, who gave you the balls to steal my man? Lu Yin stared at her coldly. It was as if Lu Yin only needed to lightly press the trigger to kill Amy. Chapter 3279. Boss, I can't control who I like. Young Master Qiao is so outstanding, but sometimes you order him around like he's your subordinate instead of your boyfriend. I feel bad for young Master Qiao. Bad? Who do you think you are? I know I'm qualified, but I just want to say that you're still young and shouldn't think too much about money, power, or war. Those are all worldly possessions. It's not easy to meet someone you like in your life. Once you miss it, you won't get it again. I hope you can cherish young Master Qiao. Do I need you to tell me that? Boss, just do it. I know you will definitely kill me because your personality is like this. You simply won't listen to other people's advice. However, I still won't say this. You can ignore other people's words, but you must listen to young Master Qiao's words. He truly loves you. Amy, shut up. I don't need you to tell me what to do. Xiao Fei also felt that it was strange to hear his inner thoughts coming out of the mouth of a female subordinate. Young Master Xiao, I'm just defending you. I want to tell boss how much you love her. If she can't feel it, it's useless even if you say it 100 times. Young Master Xiao scolded Amy. You're singing the same tune. So you're saying that I'm trying to break up a couple? Lu Yin continued to mock them. Yin, don't mess around, okay? I'm messing around? You two did these shameless things behind my back, and now you're saying I'm messing around? What's wrong with us? Did you catch us in bed? Xiao Fei was angry that Lu Yin kept calling him a traitor. She was slandering him. Caught us in bed? Fuck. If I really caught you in bed, do you think you'd still be alive? Wouldn't you be a corpse? Lu Yin was furious. It's not a big deal. Why are you making a big deal out of it? Besides, Yin, when did you lose confidence in yourself? You think you're not as good as one of your subordinates? Xiao Fei looked at her indifferently. Hee hee. Yeah, Xiao Fei. When did we become like this? If it was before, you would have already told me about AI me's feelings for you. But from Australia to Brazil, AI me was extremely attentive to you several times, but you didn't mention a word to me. What? Do you want to play with women behind my back? If I don't let you sleep with me, you can't take it physically, right? There are many women who sleep with you in Brazil. There are famous models and celebrities. If you want, I can buy you 100. But why do you want to touch my woman? Rabbits don't eat the grass near their burrows. Let me clarify again. I didn't touch your people. It was your people who kept approaching me. Xiao Fei was also helpless. Then, by not rejecting her outright, you're giving her hope, aren't you? You made Amy think she had a chance, didn't you? What do you think of me? We've been together for so long. Don't you trust me at all? Lu Yin, you're so sad. Yeah, I'm so sad. Why did I believe that you loved me deeply back then? So, because of this small matter, you overturned everything between us. It's meaningless to say this now. Xiao Fei, I'll give you a chance to explain. Come on, kill AI me in front of me, and the misunderstanding between us will be over. Lu Yin suddenly tossed the gun in her hand to Xiao Fei and said word by word. After receiving the gun, Xiao Fei glanced at Lu Yin with a complicated expression. Chapter 3280. I don't understand. What does killing Amy have to do with what's going on between us? Because everything started because of her, Lu Yin said without hesitation. But even without her, there's still many problems between us. You just can't see it clearly, Xiao Fei said faintly. So you're saying I'm blind? Lu Yin was furious. I didn't say that. Xiao Fei, who gave you the guts? Do you think I like you so much that you can go to heaven? Lu Yin was furious. But I didn't. No matter how angry Lu Yin was, Xiao Fei was still calm, which was what Lu Yin couldn't stand the most. Cut the crap. Are you going to kill her or not? If I kill you, you'll forgive me? If I don't kill you, you won't forgive me? Xiao Fei looked up at Lu Yin questioningly. What do you think? Lu Yin's tone and attitude were very bad. If I kill her, will you marry me? Xiao Fei asked her. What does that have to do with marriage? If you kill her, I'll believe that you don't hate me because of this woman, Lu Yin emphasized. So even if I kill her, there won't be any further development between us, right? What development do you want? Lu Yin looked at Xiao Fei's eyes quietly. Forget it. Pretend I didn't say anything. So what do you want now? Lu Yin looked at Xiao Fei, who was still holding the gun, but had no intention of shooting. I won't kill her. I don't want to kill innocent people. There's nothing between me and Amy. If I kill her, it'll make me look narrow-minded, Xiao Fei said. Bullshit. Lu Yin couldn't take it anymore and cursed. It's okay if you don't believe me. I didn't mean to say more. So, you've made up your mind to break up with me rather than kill this woman, right? Lu Yin pointed at Amy's head angrily. I don't want to break up with you, and I don't want to kill her. Xiao Fei, who do you think you are? The sun? The earth revolves around you. If you don't want to kill her, get out. I won't let you go. Lu Yin asked him to leave. Hearing this, AI Me immediately grabbed Xiao Fei's pistol and pointed it at her head. Young Master Xiao, it's all my fault. Please don't fight with boss. I'll die. Once I die, everything will be fine. With that, she pulled the trigger. Lu Yan's attitude was cold. Xiao Fei, on the other hand, had a small stone in his hand and knocked Amy's gun out of her hand. Don't be silly. The problem between us is no longer a matter of whether you die or not. Even if you die 100 times, it won't solve the problem between me and her. Xiao Fei said, Hee, someone's feeling bad for her. A hero saving a damsel in distress, right? Lu Yan sneered. If that's the case, then I won't explain. I'm tired. Stop acting all high and mighty in front of me. Yin, think about Sister Mian and brother-in-law. They've been through so much, but the only reason they're still together is because they trust each other. Look at us. You say you're good to me, but when have you ever trusted me unconditionally? I trust you on the premise that you won't betray me, not that you're having an affair with my female subordinate. Lu Yan cursed in exasperation. I told you I didn't, but I don't believe you. Lu Yan continued to yell. Hee, see? No matter what I do, you'll think I betrayed you. If that's the case, then what's the point? So what do you mean? You want to break up with me? Lu Yan's heart sank. Chapter 3281. Don't you think we both need to calm down? Xiao Fei asked. Finally, Lu Yan only said twice, which seemed to contain thousands of words. Okay, it seems you've made the final decision. Then Lu Yan slowly walked toward Xiao Fei. Then she punched Xiao Fei's lower abdomen viciously. Caught off guard, he bent over and squatted on the ground. Then Lu Yan lifted her foot and kicked Amy, who was kneeling on the ground, into the air. This kick could be said to be full of strength. Boss, I'm sorry. Amy spat out blood, but still managed to kneel on the ground and confess her sins. Amy, you've been with me for a long time. In the past few years, you've fought all over the world. Even if you didn't make any contributions, you've worked hard for me. Since you've worked for me for the past few years, I won't take your cheap life. But don't let me see you again. You'd better be smart and avoid my people. Otherwise, I'll kill you. Boss, I get out. Lu Yan only said one word, but her eyes were full of murderous intent. In the end, Amy didn't even dare to breathe. She scrambled out. Lu Yan glanced at Xiao Fei indifferently. You should go too. Yan, don't say it. Even if we're not lovers, we're not enemies. Lu Yan can't do that. Let's go. Then, Lu Yan opened the door and left. Xiao Fei was left alone. An hour later, on the balcony on the top floor of the hotel, Lu Yan drank a bottle of wine alone and was a bit drunk. Boss, her subordinates stood behind her and didn't dare to walk up. Speak. They're gone. Where did they go? Lu Yan asked. They went back to Russia. I saw young Master Qiao bought a plane ticket to Moscow. I knew it. Lu Yan smiled in disappointment. Amy went back with Xiao Fei. Bastard couple. Good job. Lu Yan looked up at the sky and sighed. Boss, should we send people to do it? They haven't boarded the plane yet. The airport is full of our people. If you give the order, no need. Boss, but the two of them betrayed you. I said no. Don't you understand? Lu Yan raised her voice. Yes, I understand. Then get out. Lu Yan roared. Then, she smashed a wine bottle onto the ground. Looking at the floor full of glass, the subordinate didn't dare to say anything. He hurriedly pushed the door out and closed it. How is it? Is boss still very irritable? After they left, the other subordinates asked. Of course. Boss is in a bad mood. He seems to be a little drunk. Fuck, I can't take this lying down. How could that bitch Amy betray us? How dare she seduce young Master Qiao? Yeah, I don't understand either. Most importantly, why would young Master Qiao fall for her? She's not even 1% as good-looking as our boss. You don't understand. Most of us men think with our lower body. I heard that boss and young Master Qiao haven't done it yet. So, that bitch Amy must have taken advantage of the situation. After all, young Master Qiao is a normal man. It's understandable that he made a mistake. But I didn't expect young Master Qiao to break up with boss for Amy. That's not right. Boss found out about their scandal and broke up with him. Both of them seem to be injured. I think boss beat them up. She didn't beat them up too badly. With boss's temper, she would have exploded their heads. A few of his subordinates whispered and gossiped in low voices. Suddenly, Liu Yin opened the door abruptly. The subordinates immediately fell silent. "Book a plane ticket for me right now," Liu Yin said drunkenly. "Okay. Boss, where are you going?" "Sea City, China." Chapter 3282. On the night of Jixin's engagement, everyone seemed to be in a good mood when they went home. That night, they even collectively mocked Tang Chuan in the group chat for a while. After returning to South Hill Manor, Pudding ran directly to her grandpa. "Grandpa, I blackmailed Uncle Tang for a tea set today, oh? Our pudding is that good?" Qin Chu's father lovingly patted his granddaughter's head. "Yeah, Grandpa's birthday is coming soon, so I got the present in advance." "You're so smart." Qin Chu's father couldn't stop smiling. "Pudding, he's your future uncle. We can't bully him," Grandma persuaded her granddaughter. "Grandma, don't worry. I won't take it for free. I've already transferred the money to his account." This kid, Qin Chu's mother, didn't know what to say. The twins had always been precocious and knew everything, especially Pudding, who had been involved in investments and stocks since a young age. Qin Chu and Huamin had allowed her to do so. After flirting with her grandparents for a while, Pudding went upstairs with her phone. "Uncle Tang, I've transferred the money to your account. Check it." "Kid, I told you I don't want the money. What are you doing? You're slapping me in the face." "How can I not want it? I don't want to give it to Grandpa for free. Just take it. I didn't give you a lot. You'll lose money." Pudding smiled. "It's okay. After all, I'm your uncle," Tang Chuan said proudly. After sending the WeChat message, Tang Chuan was still in Su Yu's car, sighing. "Pudding is amazing. She's so young, but she knows what she's doing. She even transferred the money for the tea set to me." Tang Chuan looked at his phone and received a message from the bank. Pudding didn't give him a lot. She only transferred 800,000 yuan to Tang Chuan. But since she gave him the money, it meant she didn't take it for free. Tang Chuan appreciated this approach very much. This was not something that a child could understand. "My Pudding has always been so sensible. There's nothing wrong with what I do." Su Yu is especially proud, as if Pudding was his daughter. "That's why I told you before, you might as well not look for a wife. Wait for 20 years. When the two girls grow up, you can pick one." Tang Chuan smiled. "Go to hell. If you say that again, I'll castrate you." Su Yu glared at Tang Chuan. Upon hearing the word castrate, Tang Chuan subconsciously covered his crotch, as if Su Yu would really do that. "Haha, don't. I'm counting on this to give my Ning Ning happiness. That's enough. Don't be so smug. The whole world knows that you slept with Qin Ning. Everyone on Earth knows. Mr. Tang, haha, this is enough for me to be happy for a year." Tang Chuan was smug. "Okay, I'm not going to chat with you here. I'm going home." "Whoa, you're coming home early these days. Are you sleeping with Zheng Ro?" "Don't talk nonsense. I only have meals with her, and Shaon is always there. It's okay. You're not familiar with her the first time. Maybe one day you'll get excited and sleep with her." Tang Chuan smirked. "Do you think I'm as perverted as you?" "It's not perverted. It's a normal need for us men. You're unmarried and don't have a moral bottom line. So this time, go ahead and eat." "Ha! You'll taste it. You make it sound like I'm a virgin. Forget it. Go back to sleep." Then, so you turn on the engine. Tang Chuan got out of the Lamborghini. When he passed An's car, he glanced at Zheng Ro with a smirk. "Behave yourself," Tang Chuan said to Zheng Ro. Chapter 3283. What the hell? Zheng Ro was baffled. "Huh, Miss Zheng, don't mind him. Our Mr. Tang is always like that. He likes to joke around. He's Su Yu's best buddy, right?" Zheng Ro found everyone had left after the banquet. Only Tang Chuan had stayed to talk to Su Yu for a while, so they must be close. "Yes, he and Master Wei are our boss. They grew up together, and they've always hung out with our boss, except for the few years when our boss was in the army. Their relationship is very, very deep." Shaoan looked at the brotherly relationship between the men and seemed to be slightly moved. "So you serve in the army?" Zheng Ro was surprised. "It seems you didn't do your homework. Our boss served in the special forces and won glory for our country, and said proudly, "Awesome. I didn't know he was like that. I thought he was just a super rich second generation who liked to eat, drink, and flirt with girls." Zheng Ro chuckled. "Our boss has many good qualities. You'll be surprised if you get along with him." "Okay, I'll try." Zheng Ro chuckled at this moment and received a call from Su Yu, who was in the car in front of him. "Let's go back." "Okay, President Su. Tell Zheng Ro to come back." Tang Chuan left. Su Yu said, Miss Zheng said, "She'll take my car." "Su Yu, she said you drive too fast and don't feel safe," and explained to his boss. But Su Yu's face darkened when he heard that. His driving skills were so good, but he was despised by her. Hanging up, Su Yu stepped hard on the accelerator. When Zheng Ro realized what had happened, the car was gone. "Ahem, it's normal. President Su has a short temper," and said awkwardly, "It's okay. I'm used to his temper. If he speaks to me gently one day, I'll be scared," Zheng Ro said calmly. "Haha, all right," and suddenly felt that Zheng Ro was an interesting woman. If it had been those women in the past, they would have been eager to get into Su Yu's car. However, Zheng Ro would rather sit in his car because he drove steadily. This girl was too realistic. Rick's car was parked outside Nieling Xuan's house. Cece walked her sister to the door. The two sisters were reluctant to part. "Cece, when will you come back?" Nieling Xian held Cece's hand and asked intimately. "I don't know yet. Our child might be born there. You know, Rick is very busy. If it weren't for Sister Mian, he wouldn't have stayed here for so long." "Okay, then I'll miss you. I'll go to America with my parents to visit you. You have a baby now, so you have to be careful and be careful." "I got it. Sis, you should go back and rest." Knowing that her sister was not in a good mood today, Cece hurried to urge her. "Okay, I'm leaving." Nieling Xian was about to turn around. "Oh yes, sis, huh?" Nieling Xian looked at her sister, who seemed to want to say something but stopped on second thought. "Sis, you have to end your relationship with Su Yu. You can either give up or confess your love to him." "Confess my love? I've expressed my love to him in a roundabout way before, but President Su doesn't seem to be interested in me. Now that he has a girlfriend, if I confess my love to him, wouldn't I be immoral? Will people call me a homewrecker?" Nieling Xian bit her lip and asked hesitantly. Chapter 3284. It's not like that. Sis, I asked around and found that woman isn't President Su's real girlfriend. What? Nieling Xian was slightly surprised. Zheng Ro was arranged by the Su family for President Su. She's only living here temporarily, but President Su doesn't like her. How do you know President Su doesn't like her? Maybe she's his type, Nieling Xian said in a low voice. Because Su Yu likes Sister Mian, Cece said matter-of-factly. Biting her lips, Nieling Xian wanted to say something but didn't know how to refute. Her sister was right. The whole world knew that Su Yu liked Huamin. President Su likes Sister Mian so much that he won't change his mind easily. If he doesn't like you, he won't like anyone else. So, sister, Zheng Ro is no match for him. The problem is that you haven't confessed your love to President Su openly. Are you sure you're willing to give up like this? Nieling Xian wanted to say something, but stopped on second thought. Sis, I just want to ask you one question. If I asked you to go on a blind date or find a boyfriend, would you agree? Nieling Xian shook her head. You still love Su Yu, don't you? Nieling Xian hesitated for a moment and then nodded. It's impossible for God to take pity on you and let Su Yu come to you one day and tell you he loves you. You have to fight for your own happiness. Even though Sister Mian is so excellent, she's still working hard on her marriage and love life. So, you can either give up and forget about Su Yu completely, find a boyfriend, and live a good life with him, or take the risk and confess your love to him. The worst result is that you'll be rejected. You won't lose your head. But if I'm rejected, how can I face President Su in the future? Will he hate me? Look, you're too timid and always think too much. That's why you've been so useless these years. You joined Imperial Star as a trainee even earlier than Zhao Qingya and Mian. But look at them. They're all famous now. You're only famous now. You're the same when it comes to love. But don't say I didn't warn you. If you hesitate, Suyu might have a wife and kids. Nia Lingxian, sis, life is short. If you don't do something now, you won't have a chance to do it when you're old, and you'll definitely regret it. Just do what you want to do. It's just a matter of whether you succeed or not. I really don't think it's that hard. Cece tried her best to persuade her sister, not wanting her to continue to be a girl who had to swallow her pride. Cece, you're right. Sis, I'm not trying to brainwash you. I just want to say that we never know which comes first, life or accident. People are fragile. If you don't say it now, you might not have a chance in the future. After all, you've liked Suyu for so long. It's not a bad idea to let him know, right? Yeah, I'm too timid, so others always get to him before I do. If I confess first, Zhang Ro might not be able to move in. Cece, I'll listen to you this time. I've decided to give it a try. With her sister's encouragement, Nia Lingxian seemed to be more confident. So, don't think about anything. Go back and have a good sleep. Think about confessing to Suyu. Okay. After the sisters separated, Cece returned to the car. Is your sister okay? Rick asked. She's fine. She's just obsessed with Suyu. Yeah, I'll ask her to confess to him. That's not a good idea. Rick looked at Cece and didn't seem to agree with her. Chapter 3285. Why do you say that? Cece looked at Rick in puzzlement. I don't think Suyu is a good fit for a woman, Rick said. Honey, you don't think Suyu is gay, do you? Cece burst into laughter. No, I don't think so. Then what do you mean? Rick rarely gossiped about anyone, so when he mentioned Suyu, Cece was interested and wanted to ask more. What I mean is, Suyu is too obsessed with Huamian. No woman can enter his heart. Why do you want to mess with him? Who said that? Didn't you see that Suyu brought a date this time? Cece wasn't convinced. But he doesn't love that woman, Rick retorted calmly. Whether he loves her or not, she's still his date. How do you know that Suyu doesn't like her? Suyu likes Sister Mian, but she has a family, a husband, and a baby. She's pregnant now. No matter how much he likes her, Suyu can only let it go. So, he has to find his own home. My sister is stubborn. She's had a crush on Suyu for a long time. She tried to be nice to him, but he didn't respond. So, when she saw that Suyu has a girlfriend, she felt very sad and lost her soul, as if she was seriously ill. I mean, she should make a quick confession. If she succeeds, it'll be better. If she doesn't, she'll give up. If Suyu says something heartless, my sister's glass heart will be completely broken. It's better than letting her imagination run wild. You're right. Let's give it a try. But I don't think there's much hope, Rick said. Let's give it a try. What if Suyu's mind is messed up and he accepts my sister? Cece was optimistic. I hope so. Rick then slowly drove away with Cece. South Hill Manor was already 11 o'clock at night, but Huamin was still reading in bed. What are you looking at? Qin Chu came out of the shower and kissed Huamin's forehead. Sanyang Jiatsua. Huamin smiled. Io, our Dr. Hua is so literary now. Instead of medical theories, he's changed to Zen Buddhism? That's right. Everyone says that his sentences are beautiful. What do you think? Qin Chu hugged her and asked. It is indeed very beautiful. Which one do you like? Isn't it the most famous saying, worrying too much about love harms Fan Xing? Entering the mountain, fearing that other people will overturn the city? Is there a way to get the best of both worlds, to live up to Tathagata and to live up to you? Wow. Hubby, this is the first time I've heard you recite a poem so seriously. Huamin raised her head and hugged Qin Chu's neck coquettishly. Your hubby knows a lot of things. Do you want to try something else? Mr. Qin's hand slid down and touched everywhere. Huamin immediately covered her chest with her hands. Don't be a pervert. Your son is looking at you. Huamin said with a smile. It's okay. I'm just performing for my son so he can learn from me. It'll be easier for him to pick up girls in the future, Mr. Qin said and then shamelessly pinched her. How can you educate your son like this? Huamin was speechless. It's okay. My son, Qin Chu, wants to be free-range. We don't need to restrict him. He could develop freely, just like his two sisters. Then forget it. If we don't restrict his two sisters, they'll become spirits. It's better to restrict them. Huamin had a headache thinking about his two daughters. Honey, we're off topic. You still haven't told me which one you like the most. Qin Shu took the book from Huamin's hands and looked at the beautiful poems. Guess. I'll give you one more chance. Let's bet 50,000 yuan. Huamin became playful and leaned on Qin Shu's shoulder with a smirk. Chapter 3286. No, Mr. Qin refused without hesitation. Why not? Because I don't have money. I despise you. Huamin punched Qin Shu on the shoulder. I really don't have money. I gave all my money to my wife. Mr. Qin said innocently. Huamin couldn't stop laughing. Then, she hugged his arm and said coquettishly, Then tell me what you like. Me? It's probably the line from that day that everyone likes. There's a line in it that life turns around mountains, rivers, and pagodas, not for the sake of the next life, but for the sake of meeting you on the way. I knew it. Huamin laughed. What about you? Do you like that line too? No. My favorite line is, All these years you've been in my heart. I've let go of the world, but I've never let go of you. Yeah, that's a beautiful line too. You lost, right? Give me the money. Huamin reached out her hand. Honey, can you be any more shameless? I told you I don't want to bet. It's not up to you. If I say bet, then bet. Transfer the money. Don't go back on your word. Your son is here watching you. Huamin pointed at her belly. You can only threaten me with my son. Then Mr. Qin really did take out his cell phone and transferred 100,000 yuan to her account. Wow, you gave me 100,000 yuan when we agreed on 50,000 yuan. You're really rich. Huamin held her cell phone proudly. No, I'm giving you the extra 50,000 yuan for the next time you scam me. Let's call it a day, Mr. Qin said calmly. Haha, sir, why don't you pay for it every month? It's cheaper that way. When the husband and wife started joking around, there was no limit to it. After a while, it was already close to midnight. Qin Shu patted Huamin's shoulder. Honey, it's time for you to sleep. What about you? I don't want to. I want to watch the game, Qin Shu said. In the past, Huamin would have believed him. However, things were different now. Ever since Xiao Wei told her about Qin Shu's condition, her heart had always been heavy. She had been worried about Qin Shu's sleep. I'm not sleepy either. I'll watch it with you. No, you have to sleep, Mr. Qin said sternly. Then I'll go get some more milk. It's said that milk is good for sleep, Huamin said as he stood up. Qin Shu reached out to stop her. Let me do it. You lie down and don't move. Qin Shu only poured a cup of warm milk. When he brought it over, Huamin said, Hubby, I don't want to drink anymore. Can you drink it for me? Qin Shu was speechless. Why don't you drink it? Otherwise, it would be a pity to waste it. Okay. Qin Shu immediately drank the milk that his wife didn't want to drink. Then, Huamin turned on the Bluetooth speaker beside the bed and played some soothing music. Hubby, yeah, I recently learned a new massage technique. It's very good. I'll teach you first. After you learn it, you can massage me. Okay? That way, my headaches will be much better. Okay. Qin Shu nodded. Then lie down. I'll give you a massage first. You can learn it. Okay. Huamin was very particular about the method. If he directly asked Qin Shu to sleep, Qin Shu would never agree. So, Huamin thought for a while and decided to use this method. First, he coaxed him to drink a cup of warm milk. Then, he played some soothing music to help him sleep. Now, he was going to give him a head massage. The cycle was gradual, hoping that it would help Qin Shu's condition. At Su Yu's private mansion, at Ji Xin's engagement party, they didn't eat much because they wanted to have fun. When they came back, Zheng Ro made a plate of fried rice with leftovers and eggs. Then, she took out a bag of pickles and ate it. When Su Yu walked over, he didn't even invite her. Instead, he grabbed a handful of fried rice and put it into his mouth. What are you doing? Zheng Ro looked up and asked him. Chapter 3287. I'll try it. Are you Indian? This is egg fried rice, not handheld rice. You're disgusting, Su Yu. Calm down. I'm just passing by. Fine. Whatever. Zheng Ro lowered her head and was about to continue eating. Su Yu went to the kitchen took an iron spoon, and began to eat with big bites. Huh, didn't you say you'd try it? Zheng Ro protested. I didn't taste anything. I have a slow sense of taste. So, I must try it carefully, Suyu said as he ate. Damn it, you can do that? Zheng Ro's eyes widened. By the time she came back to her senses, the plate of egg-fried rice, which wasn't much to begin with, had already been emptied. Eating it with pickled vegetables, he actually found it to be quite delicious. Do you still want to eat? If you don't, I'll finish it. Suyu pointed at the last bit of egg-fried rice on the plate with his spoon. You can have it. I'll cook another plate. Zheng Ro stood up. You still want to cook? Then cook one more portion. I'm not full yet, damn it. You said you'd try it. Zheng Ro was still thinking about Suyu's try. Yeah, I just tried it. It's not bad and I can eat it, so I'll try more. You're shameless. Zheng Ro couldn't take it anymore. Suyu took out his wallet and put 200 yuan on the table. A plate of egg-fried rice at the snack bar outside is only about 158 yuan. Even a five-star restaurant is only about 158 yuan. How about this? I'll give you 200 yuan, and the extra will be your tip. All right, hurry up. I'm not full yet. 200 yuan? Do you think I'm a beggar? Let me tell you, it's 888 yuan. Otherwise, I'll quit. Zheng Ro sat back in her seat. Sure, anything that can be solved with money is nothing. I'll give you 2,000 yuan. Cook another plate for him, Suyu said. Do you really think I'm a nanny? Zheng Ro didn't know whether to laugh or cry. You really think too highly of yourself. Our nannies are all very experienced. You're at most an intern, Suyu said. In the end, Zheng Ro gritted her teeth, stuffed the 2,000 yuan into her pocket, and went back to the kitchen. 20 minutes later, Suyu and Zheng Ro were eating egg-fried rice together. He was watching a variety show on TV. President Su, I think variety shows are very profitable these days. I think our company can get more artists to sign on for variety shows. Whether it's hardworking, military training, tearing designer labels, pretending to be in love, or even taking dolls on trips, it'll greatly increase the exposure of the artists, and suggested. I've already accepted a few, but most of them are fake. Some fans don't like them very much. It's okay if they act well, but if they don't act well, it'll be very pretentious and counterproductive. Suyu objectively evaluated reality shows. Suyu, Nialing Xian is the most popular actress in your company right now, right? Zheng Ro suddenly interrupted. What? Suyu glanced at her. Nothing. I'm just asking. I think she's the only actress in your company who's good at acting. The others are all trash. Trash is better than you. If you go up there, you'll cry for half a day. Suyu chuckled. Humph. Don't look down on me. I'm not in the entertainment industry. If I were, all the actresses in your company would be doomed. I'm telling you, Zheng Ro exaggerated. To be honest, Zheng Ro, I think you're the cutest when you're bragging, Suyu said seriously, and almost choked on his rice. He wanted to laugh, but didn't dare to. Suyu, how can you compliment someone like that? You're not done with insulting me. Spit out your rice. Zheng Ro held a spoon and gestured to hit Suyu. Ding dong. At this moment, someone suddenly rang the doorbell. Chapter 3288. What's going on? Zheng Ro was dumbfounded and looked down at his watch. It's so late. Why is someone visiting us? Go open the door. Suyu didn't care. He was enjoying his meal and didn't plan to move. He ordered and to open the door, and followed his boss's order and went to open the door. When he saw the person standing at the door, he was slightly surprised. Miss, yeah, why are you here? To be honest, and didn't expect Nialing Xian to come so late at night. This girl was quite shrewd. After Cici told her the truth, she tossed and turned in bed, unable to fall asleep. She thought it made sense. Pessimistically, if something happened to Suyu or herself tomorrow, she would never be able to confess her love to him. So, she got up in the middle of the night, put on makeup, and drove to Suyu's house without her assistant and agent's knowledge. However, she didn't expect Suyu's house to be so lively, and the three of them were having supper. I'm here to see President Su. Is he home? Nialing Xian asked gently. Yes, he's home. Please come in. And had been with Su Yu for many years and had seen all kinds of women. Most of the women in Imperial Star were scheming bitches. Few of them were as honest and shy as Nie Lingxian, which meant she didn't look like an actress. After she became famous, many rich second-generation heirs and businessmen in the city were interested in her. But she rejected them all and even refused to attend dinner parties. Because she was an actress of Imperial Star and one of Su Yu's employees, the media often made wild guesses about her and Su Yu. So, those who had bad thoughts about her didn't dare to do anything to her. Her fans all knew this girl wasn't young anymore, but was still single. Many fans even openly chose boyfriends for her. Some even recommended her to go on a dating reality show, hoping she could find her true love. However, this girl was completely stubborn. Except for Su Yu, she didn't want to get close to any other man. Maybe because she came with an obvious motive, Nie Lingxian was dressed very formally. It was a very decent dress that didn't expose any part of her body. It was very conservative, but it was also very beautiful. Nie Lingxian put on light makeup and let her long hair down. Her light blue dress matched her white crystal shoes. She was wearing the latest Cartier bracelet on her wrist, which was said to be worth hundreds of thousands. There was only a simple pearl necklace around her neck. She was good-looking and had a friendly face. Therefore, she was popular and had a good reputation in the Imperial Star Entertainment. Shaun also liked this girl and felt that if the boss married her, he would be very happy. At the very least, she looked virtuous, gentle, and virtuous. However, Su Yu never seemed to have such thoughts. President Su, Miss Nie is here, and reminded him in a low voice. Hearing that Nie Lingxian was here, Su Yu put down his spoon and stopped eating. Instead, he stood up and looked at her in surprise. "Why are you here?" Nie Lingxian was about to speak when she saw Zheng Ro beside Su Yu and stopped. You guys talk. I'll go wash the dishes." Zheng Ro stood up and ran into the kitchen with the bowls and chopsticks. Zheng Ro had seen this girl during the day, and the whole world could see her feelings for Su Yu. Zheng Ro thought she shouldn't be a third wheel and interrupt their conversation. This was the basic etiquette of her manners. "President Su, I have something to talk to you about." Nie Lingxian clasped her hands tightly, looking very nervous. Chapter 3289. Okay. Su Yu nodded, thinking she was here to talk about work. After all, he was the manager of a big entertainment company, and many female artists often used tricks to complain to him. Su Yu was used to it. Can we go somewhere else? It's not convenient here." Although Zheng Ro had left and was still here. Besides, they were in the living room, so Nie Lingxian didn't think it was a good place to confess her love. "All right, then come out with me. Let's go to the courtyard." Su Yu turned to the fridge and took out 2 cans of Coke. He handed one to Nie Lingxian and opened the other for himself. He drank as he walked. Nie Lingxian took the Coke and followed Su Yu silently. They walked to the yard one after the other. Su Yu's private mansion had a beautiful view and a big yard. In the summer, Tang Chuan liked to come here to eat and drink. It was a great place. On one side was the swimming pool, and on the other side was the sofa where they could chat and play cards. The summer night breeze was refreshing. Su Yu walked to the sofa and sat down, continuing to drink Coke. After eating and drinking, he seemed to be in a good mood. In the mansion, and stood by the window and looked out curiously. "Hey!" Zheng Ro patted him from behind, startling him. "What are you doing?" "You scared me, Miss Zheng." "Haha, you peeked at Su Yu. That's immoral of you." "I didn't. I was just protecting President Su." What if Nie Lingxian does something bad to President Su? And said, "Nonsense. That girl obviously likes Su Yu. How could she do anything bad to him? You just wanted to find an excuse for peeking at him." Zheng Ro chuckled. "She likes President Su. What if she can't control herself and molests President Su?" And quibbled, "Humph. How can there be such a good thing? If there is, President Su will benefit from it." Zheng Ro curled her lips. "Hey, Miss Zheng, you're President Su's girlfriend in name. Aren't you worried that your boyfriend was called out by another woman?" "What's the use of worrying?" And was speechless. Besides, This girl's small body is no match for Suyu. If she really intends to seduce Suyu, then I really need to take a good look. Hee hee. The outside world says that Suyu is gay. If he really doesn't like women, then why am I still here talking to him? I'll run. If he has a reaction to women, then I'll stay and continue to observe. I was speechless. Why are you looking at me like that? Miss Zeng, you're really a weirdo. Xiaoan sighed. Thank you for the compliment. My teacher said the same thing to me when I was young. Zeng Ro wasn't angry. The two of them sneakily peeked out of the house, because it was very quiet in the middle of the night and the distance was not very far. Therefore, they could hear what Su Yu and Ye Lingxian were talking about. Su Yu took the coke and glanced at Ye Lingxian. Didn't you say you wanted to talk to me? Go ahead. Yes. Ye Lingxian bit her lips. She didn't seem to have the courage to do so. At this moment, her heart was in turmoil. Do you not have enough money to spend? Do you want to borrow money from me? Su Yu asked. No, President Su. I have money. Then what do you want to do? Do you want to raise? No. Do you want to ask for a villa or a car from the company? Su Yu continued to ask. No. Ye Lingxian shook her head vigorously. Then I really don't know what you want to do. Su Yu looked at the empty-handed Ye Lingxian. She didn't even bring soup. Why did this woman come to his house in the middle of the night? Chapter 3290. President Su. Ye Lingxian stammered. Su Yu? Question mark. President Su, I like you. Ye Lingxian made up her mind, closed her eyes, and said the whole sentence. Su Yu spat out a mouthful of coke, which stained Ye Lingxian's dress, and almost fell on the floor. Fortunately, he had his hands on the windowsill. Wow, she's confessing. Zeng Ro sighed with her hands under the sun. That's so dramatic, and was surprised that the timid and submissive Ye Lingxian dared to confess to his boss face to face. So you must be feeling wonderful right now. I want to ask him if he's surprised or not. Zeng Ro snickered. I don't know if he's surprised or not, but he's definitely shocked. Look at our boss, he spat out his coke. And looked over. Ahem. So you not only spat out his coke, but he also almost choked on it. He coughed violently. Seeing this, Ye Lingxian hurried over and knocked on Su Yu's back. President Su, are you okay? I'm fine. Ahem. Don't touch me. Stay away from me. Su Yu stammered. Ye Lingxian immediately stood 3 meters away from him. Looking at her wet dress, Su Yu immediately changed the subject. I'm sorry. I stained your dress. Go in and change. I'm sure Zeng Ro has clean clothes. Don't worry. It's okay. Ye Lingxian was surprisingly calm. Su Yu didn't know what to say. President Su, let me finish first. I've thought about it for a long time. If I don't say it now, I'll never have the chance to. I know it's not the right time or too late to say it since you have Miss Zeng Ro as your girlfriend, but I still want to tell you what's on my mind. Otherwise, I'm afraid I'll regret it for the rest of my life. Ahem. Go ahead. Seeing the girl was determined to confess, Su Yu didn't change the subject. However, he lowered his head in embarrassment. In the past, when those women wanted to get close to him, they would either seduce him or send him ambiguous and explicit WeChat messages. How can Ye Lingxian confess in such a serious way? What era was this? If such a confession were to spread out, wouldn't he be laughed at? But Su Yu wouldn't laugh at her, because Su Yu knew that when he confessed to Huamin, he was just as straightforward and honest. Therefore, even if he was unwilling, he could not trample on the girl's sincerity. President Su, I've liked you for a long time. I've never been in a relationship, and I didn't know what it felt like to like someone until I met you. I've been an Imperial Star for a few years now, but I've never been popular. I joined Imperial Star because I heard you were powerful and no one dared to sleep with our actresses. After I joined, I realized it was true, so I've been staying at Imperial Star and doing what I like. I remember that year. It was the Mid-Autumn Festival. You bought a lot of mooncakes and gave everyone red packets. When it was my turn, you didn't have enough red packets, so you took out 3,000 yuan from your wallet and gave it to me. That sincere smile touched me for a long time. People who don't know you say that you're a rich second-generation heir who relies on your family's influence to do whatever you want. You eat, drink, and play, but I know that you're not. You have a kind heart, and you never bully the weak. When your employees are bullied, you immediately stand up for them. You're a good boss. Ahem. Thank you for the compliment. I did what I should do, Suyu replied awkwardly. Why did he suddenly feel like he had a halo around him? Chapter 3291. Lingxian continued. In the beginning, I was just a small-time actress and didn't have many opportunities to interact with you. But you didn't look down on me because I was just a small-time actress. You even promoted people like me who had been working in the company for years but didn't become popular. That's how I got the chance to make a name for myself. All these years, the company has treated me well, and President Su, you've also taken good care of me. Every time we met, every word you said to me is deeply imprinted in my mind. When I get home at night, I'll reminisce about it alone for a long time. Suyu blushed slightly at her words. In the beginning, I thought I was just admiring you. Gradually, I realized it wasn't like that. When you liked Dr. Huamin, the whole city knew about it. Some people laughed at you. Some were jealous of you. Some scolded you secretly, and some encouraged you. But I felt sorry for you because Dr. Huamin has someone he loves, and she can't give you any response. So, you've had a hard time loving her all these years. That's all in the past. Dr. Hua is now my best friend, Suyu said, trying to deceive himself. I know. That's why I was thinking if I should confess my love to you. Maybe you can give me a chance. President Su, I really like you. I've liked you for years. I fell in love with you shortly after I came to Imperial Star. The difference is that I'm different from other women. I don't want fame or money, and I don't want to climb up the Su family. I just like you, President Su. Even if you're not the president of Imperial Star or the young master of the Su family one day, I'll still want to be with you and stay by your side. Just like all the other couples in the world, we'll live the most ordinary life. I'll do your laundry and cook for you. We'll talk about life. We'll talk about our dreams and the future. Lingxian was quite eloquent, but sometimes she was too shy and introverted, so she rarely spoke so much. So you didn't know Lingxian could be so talented when she was serious. Although he didn't go so far as to speak eloquently, what he said was indeed very heartwarming. It was all from the bottom of his heart. In the room, and Zheng Ro listened attentively. I didn't expect Lingxian to be so good at talking. I didn't expect her to be so good, and shook his head and sighed. You can't judge a book by its cover. The seawater is so damn cold. Zheng Ro said. Puffed. You can't judge a book by its cover. Miss Zheng, I'm not well educated. Don't lie to me. And looked at Zheng Ro in disdain. Ha! Don't be so serious, young man. That's how people joke on the internet. You're still laughing? Miss Zheng, why are you so careless? Is someone confessing to our president Su now? And looked as if he expected better from her. So, what should I do? Shouldn't you be worried? If I'm worried, he won't confess. Don't tell me I have to gag her mouth. There's no need for that. Look at how well she said it. She confessed her love for Suyu. It's obvious that she's liked him for a long time. If I were Suyu, I would be touched. But you're President Su's real girlfriend now, and reminded her. But we're partners. We don't interfere with each other. If Suyu really likes this girl, it's not a bad thing. At least she's not a bitch. What? You're really going to give up President Su? And looked incredulous. Don't talk. Keep listening. Let's see what Suyu has to say. Zheng Ro gestured for him to keep quiet and continued watching the confession scene. Chapter 3292. President Su, yeah. I hope you can accept me. I'll try my best to be your girlfriend and take good care of you. Ahem. Suyu coughed violently again. Little Nya. In fact, I understand your feelings. But Zheng Ro is living in my house now, so you wanted to use Zheng Ro as a shield. After all, he had agreed to let her live in his house and take the title of his girlfriend because he wanted this effect. I've asked around about Miss Zheng. President Su, you and she are just partners. Ahem. Which damned person told that? So you look dumbfounded. The information I got is reliable. So, President Su, you don't have to use Miss Zhang as an excuse. If you don't like me, it's okay. You can just reject me. I won't pester you, and I won't use any tricks. I just think that if I don't say these words now, I won't have the chance to do it again. I'm fulfilling a wish that I've had for many years. Su, I love you. I want to be with you forever. I want to grow old with you, give birth to your babies, sleep with you, and be your wife. Hearing Lingshuan's words, Su felt his hair stand on end. This young lady usually looked honest. Why was it that when she opened her mouth, she was so shocking? Wow, 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 Zheng Ro exclaimed. Miss Nye is serious. Huh, my boss seems to be dumbfounded, and couldn't help but laugh. This confession is too impactful. She's such a beautiful girl. No man would be able to reject her. He's finished. I think your boss is going to fall for her. Then why don't you go and save him? And looked at Zheng Ro. Forget it. I admit defeat. I really think this girl is good. Zheng Ro got up and said seriously. You admit defeat? I was surprised. What else can I do? Do you want me to go out and confess? Huh. Even if I confess, Su Yu won't believe me. We've only known each other for a few days. This girl has loved Su Yu for years. She really felt that Su Yu was not bad with her. Nye Lingxian even said that she wanted to sleep next to him and bear his children. It was obvious that Nye Lingxian was going all out this time. If it was in the past, Su Yu might have directly rejected him. But this time, he probably didn't expect such an effect. He was shocked. Before Su Yu could react, Nye Lingxian walked over and held Su Yu's face in her hands. She gently kissed him on the lips, although it was a light kiss like a dragonfly skimming the surface of the water. It was like a sudden clap of thunder that made Su Yu's heart explode. Fuck, my boss was kissed, and was shocked. Will your boss be stripped down to his underwear? Zheng Ro was also shocked. I don't think so. Is my boss that weak? And was also dumbfounded. Su Yu pushed Nye Lingxian away. He spilled Coke all over her. I'm sorry. I'm really not used to it. Su Yu didn't know what to say and seemed to be flustered. I should be the one apologizing. I was too abrupt, but I couldn't help it. Su Yu, give me an answer. It's up to you to decide whether I live or die. Ahem. The girl's words were too big, even involving life and death. So you didn't know what to do. Chapter 3293. Little Nya, it's too sudden, so you wasn't mentally prepared. He had been eating egg fried rice and drinking Coke at home, as usual. He didn't expect such an exciting thing to happen in the middle of the night. It's okay. Take your time to think about it. Let me know when you're done. Nye Lingxian turned to leave. Your dress is wet. Go in and change. So he got up and walked in. When he opened the door, he saw an Zheng Ro eavesdropping in line. He was speechless. You go and change your clothes. So you pointed at Zheng Ro. Okay. Zheng Ro nodded and led Nye Lingxian back to her room. Su Yu and were in the living room, and the atmosphere was weird. Boss, someone just confessed to you and said, so how long have you been eavesdropping? Su Yu glared at him. I didn't eavesdrop. Our house is only so big, and you were talking so loudly. When I woke up this morning, I noticed my right eye twitching. Sure enough, you're lucky if your left eye twitches, and you're lucky if your right eye twitches. But I don't think you're lucky. If you want it, I'll give it to you, Su Yu asked him. Oh, no. I don't have the fortune to enjoy it. Didn't you break up with your ex-girlfriend? Do you want me to introduce little Nye to you? No. Boss, I really can't afford it. My ex-girlfriend was nice at first, but I didn't expect her to be so snobbish. I don't want to talk about her, and said with deep melancholy. And knew a female college student who was a senior at the Broadcasting Academy. It was said that she made money by doing live broadcasts. She wasn't very pretty, but she was very gentle. Once, when she was doing an outdoor broadcast, her phone was robbed by a biker gang, and happened to be out on business, so he helped her. Then, the girl invited him to dinner. He didn't eat because he was in a hurry to get a car. The girl insisted on leaving his WeChat number, so they chatted passionately. They even went on 2 dates, but later, when it investigated the girl's background, he discovered a painful truth. That girl seemed to have a relationship with an old married man in the city. To put it bluntly, She was a mistress. Many luxury goods, including a new mobile phone and branded bags, were given by Ling Tianyi. Later on, as they chatted, the girls would intentionally or unintentionally mention what they wanted, as if they thought that Xiao was a rich second-generation heir. After all, I had driven Su Yu's Lamborghini out that day. After and figured out what the girl was thinking, he decided to let her go in order to give her an explanation. He directly said that he was a chauffeur, not a rich second-generation heir. The car was not his, and he was also an employee. Sure enough, from then on, the girl never contacted him again, but she did not delete him. Because of this, Xiaoan was sad for a while, but he got over it later. Today, when Su Yu brought up the matter again, he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. President Su, you can't do this. You're confused after being confessed to, so you're venting your anger on me. Is this really okay? Su Yu felt a headache coming on. In Zheng Rou's room, she found a comfortable casual outfit in light pink and gave it to Nieling Xian. Thank you, Miss Zheng. Beauty, I admire no one but you. Haha, you've completely conquered Su Yu. Zheng Rou gave her a thumbs up. Miss Zheng, I'm sorry. What I did makes me your rival in love, right? Nieling Xian sounded uneasy. Chapter 3294. No. I'm not. Su Yu and I are just partners, Zheng Rou confessed. I know, Nieling Xian said calmly. You know, it was Zheng Rou's turn to be surprised. Yeah, I asked around before I came. I knew about your relationship, so I came here to confess my love. Okay, you win. It seems you're well prepared. Anyway, it's the last time. No matter what, I won't confess my love to him again. After the confession, Nieling Xian found that she felt much more relaxed. That heavy, boulder-like thing in her heart had disappeared. You are brave. As a woman, I admire you. I'm not slandering you. Zheng Rou admired this woman. As an A-list actress, she had to take the risk to confess her love in a way that only high school students would do. Not many women in the entertainment industry could do this. After all, everyone was thinking about their own future. It's nothing. I can finally say what I've been suppressing in my heart for a long time. I got what I wanted. Have you thought about it? It's good that Su Yu accepts you and everyone is happy. But what if he rejects you? Will you feel awkward? You'll feel awkward when you see him again. Zheng Rou's question was indeed a critical one that Nieling Xian had been struggling with for a long time. I was scared before, but it doesn't matter now. I suddenly realized that compared to embarrassment, not having a chance to confess is scarier. One of my fans sent me a private message yesterday saying that a landslide happened in a remote mountain area in her hometown in the early hours of the morning. The entire village disappeared in the darkness of the night as if it never existed. There were more than 200 villagers in the village, but none of them survived, including my fan's parents and brother. She was studying in another city and wasn't home, so she escaped the disaster. However, she lost all of her family that night. She said that she doesn't know what's the point of living anymore. This incident touched me a lot. Accidents happen in a few seconds, and some people are forever separated by heaven and earth. I'm afraid that if I don't confess now and something happens during filming, I'll never have a chance to confess. Su Yu will never know that there was a woman like this who loved him deeply, right? Nieling Xuan's words were sad, and Zheng Rou was touched by her words. You're right. Life is unpredictable. Since you're alive, you should do what you like. It's just a confession. At worst, you'll be rejected, Zheng Rou said with a smile. Yes, in the face of life and death, these things don't matter. So, I prepared myself before I came. Nieling Xian smiled gracefully. Then, I wish you good luck. Zheng Rou reached out her hand. Thank you, Miss Zheng. Nieling Xian was grateful that Zheng Rou didn't mock her or accuse her of seducing Su Yu shamelessly. Otherwise, she would feel conflicted. After changing, Nieling Xian and Zheng Rou went downstairs. Ahem, and let's go out and look at the stars. Zheng Rou thought it was time to give them some privacy, and gave Zheng Rou a look that said, You're so careless. Then they opened the door and walked out. Embarrassed, Su didn't dare to look at Nie Lingxian. The moon tonight is quite round. Su tried to find something to talk about. Chapter 3295. Suyu, have you made up your mind? Nie Lingxian asked directly. So you felt awkward again. Give me an answer. Be serious. Xian. It was the first time Suyu had addressed Nie Lingxian in this way. He was not used to it and felt goosebumps all over his body. Nie Lingxian looked at Suyu quietly and seemed a little nervous. She felt as if the teacher was going to announce the results of an exam when she was a child. Xian, you're a good girl, a good actress, and a good employee of Imperial Star. Suyu paused deliberately. Nie Lingxian looked at him nervously and didn't say a word. But I think you're really not my type. You're not my cup of tea. I know that saying this might hurt you, but I still have to make it clear to you so that you don't waste your time on me. I understand. Nie Lingxian's eyes filled with tears, and she almost cried. It was the first time in her life that she had confessed her love to someone, but she was rejected so easily. She felt terrible and wanted to cry. Don't cry. Listen to me. Go ahead, President Su, Nie Lingxian said in a choked voice. Love is all about fate and mutual affection, right? It's not like you two are meant for each other just because someone thinks you two are meant for each other. You have to find a feeling that you can't describe. So you tried his best to describe what he was thinking. Is it the feeling you have for Dr. Hua? Nie Lingxian asked. So he was slightly surprised at first and then nodded. Yes, you're right. It's that feeling. You'll laugh at me if I tell you this, but in the past few years, I haven't found a girlfriend because I like Mion and can't let go of her. Even now, when I see her, my heart still flutters. Her every frown, smile, movement, and even every word she says to me is a kind of happiness. You may think I'm crazy, but this feeling exists and is very real. I believe you and I understand, because I feel the same way about you. After saying this, Nie Lingxian's tears rolled down her cheeks. Her tears were like pear blossoms in the rain, making one's heart ache. Outside the window, and stuck his head in from time to time. Oh, Miss Nie seems to be crying. I wonder what President Su said to her, and murmured to himself. How can you think about it? Your president must have rejected the girl. You must be happy. And looked at her. It's none of my business. Suyu rejected her not because of me, but because he loves Huamin. You're telling the truth. And sighed. Of course. I'm an honest person. Aren't you afraid that President Su will never like you because of Dr. Hua? And glanced at her from the corner of his eyes. What's the use of being afraid? What'll happen if I'm afraid? Zheng Ro asked. So you're going to wait and see. If our boss is still so stubborn, you'll run away, right? Yeah. If I find out that Su Yu is stubbornly in love with another woman, I'll be useless here. Although we're working together for the time being, marriage is more than that. My marriage must be based on love. Zheng Ro sighed. But I'm curious. How long will Su Yu like Huamin? Zheng Ro tilted her head and looked curiously at Su Yu, who was dressed in white, shining in the dark night. Chapter 3296. So, Xiaoxian, you can understand me, right? I understand. Nie Lingxian was still crying. Please don't cry. I hate it when women cry. So you didn't know what to do. He wanted to wipe the girl's tears with a tissue, but he didn't want to do that. Since he didn't want to be with her, he didn't want to give her hope. So, I don't have a chance at all. Dr. Hua has a family, and she has a baby and a beloved husband. You can't be with her, right? You can't be single forever. Can you give me a chance? Nie Lingxian lowered her head and said to Su Yu in a pleading tone, I'm sorry, Xiaoxian. I don't have the courage to try something I don't dare to try. At least, I don't want to hurt you. I'm not afraid of being hurt, Nie Lingxian said stubbornly. But I'm also afraid of hurting myself. What about Miss Sung? Why are you willing to cooperate with her, but not with me? Nie Lingxian asked boldly. That's because we don't have feelings for each other. Zheng Ro has a guy she likes, and I have a girl I like. Our cooperation is just for our families to see. It won't affect our personal lives, so we won't hurt each other. Then will you get married? Niao Lingxian asked in tears. I don't know. I can only say that I won't for now. I really don't plan to get married, Su Yu said honestly. Okay, I understand. Anyway, thank you, President Su. Then Niao Lingxian turned and ran away. Hey, wait. Don't run so fast. I'll get someone to drive you, no. I can go by myself. Niao Lingxian covered her mouth and ran out crying. Su Yu immediately opened the door and looked at and go and follow her. I think she's emotionally unstable. I'm afraid something will happen to her. Okay, I'm on my way. And immediately followed Niao Lingxian out of the shop as instructed by his boss. Su Yu heaved a long sigh and sat down on the sofa. Here, Zheng Ro took out a can of beer from the fridge and handed it to Su Yu. You sure know how to get it for me. You knew I wanted a drink. Su Yu glanced at Zheng Ro. Because you're in a bad mood after rejecting the girl. Yes, she's a good person. She has a good reputation in our company and in our circle of friends. Then why didn't you accept her? Do I have to like her just because she's nice? Do you think I'm such a compassionate person? I'm not a central air conditioner, okay? Su Yu said snappily. I think you're worse than a central air conditioner. You don't even give her any warmth, Zheng Ro joked. That's right. Woman, are you just going to laugh at me? How is this a joke? I really think this girl is good. You're not jealous? Su Yu deliberately asked her. You're kidding. I don't like you. Why would I be jealous? Zheng Ro rolled her eyes at him. I hope so, Zheng Ro. Don't fall in love with me. Really, I don't want to hurt anyone. Su Yu said in a low voice. Su Yu, if Womin didn't come back this time and she died, what would you do? Zheng Ro suddenly asked seriously. I've never thought about that. In my heart, she won't die and will never die. Su Yu said firmly. Does Womin know how much you love her? Zheng Ro had felt sorry for Niao Lingxian, but now she felt even more sorry for Su Yu. If you love someone deeply to the bone, but that person doesn't know about your almost crazy love, is it a kind of sorrow? Chapter 3297. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know either. So you took a big gulp of beer in frustration. You know it won't work, but you're still so stubborn. Is that okay? The problem is, can I control myself? Su Yu smiled bitterly. Okay. In the end, Zheng Ro didn't know what to say to persuade Su Yu. She knew it wasn't easy for him. The next day, the media reported that Niao Lingxian was going to quit the entertainment industry and study in the States. At 4 a.m. in the morning, she wrote a post on her Weibo. She said, I'm a little restless and confused about the future, so I want to study abroad for a while and come back to school to find my peace. The semester is 1 year, and I won't accept any movie or TV roles or commercials. At the end of the post, she emphasized that she hasn't terminated her contract with Imperial Star and will stay here. She also asked the media not to make wild guesses. At 8 a.m. in the morning, the PR department of Imperial Star released a statement after consulting with Su Yu, explaining that Niao Lingxian was going to study abroad. At the same time, Su Yu's and Niao Lingxuan's Weibo were both flooded with comments, and their fans were in a war of words. Most of Niao Lingxuan's fans felt sorry for her. Xian, why are you leaving so suddenly? There was no warning at all. Baby Xian, did someone bully you? Tell us. Is there an internal strife in your company? Did a green tea bitch come in again? May, no matter what decision you make, we'll always support you, love you, and wait for you to come back. Honey, you've been working in so many movies recently, and you're exhausted. Take it as a vacation. We'll always be here for you. Your decision makes me wonder if it has something to do with Su Yu. Did you break up with him? Is it because of a new female streamer who moved into his house? That shameless woman. We'll help you scold her, that shameless mistress. Xian, why are you leaving? We miss you so much. Don't go, okay? Even if you don't act, we'll be happy watching you shoot commercials. As for Su Yu's Weibo, most of them were gossipers. President Su, you know the inside story of Niao Lingxuan's temporary retirement from the entertainment industry, right? Su Yu, did you freeze Niayan? Her acting skills are not bad. You should let her out. Really, she's much better than that cotton candy. Scumbag, when you were dating our Xian, You even hooked up with a female broadcaster. That woman even took over your villa and lived in it. You guys will get your retribution. Go and die, you bastards. Xian Bao is so sad this time. It must have something to do with you. Just keep acting. If you lose our Xian Bao, you will regret it for the rest of your life. President Su, are you trying to promote the newbie? When is the audition for this batch of newbies? I'll sign up, haha. Lord Su, don't listen to the bullshit of these haters. It has nothing to do with you, so we won't take the blame. It's none of your business whether Nieyin leaves or not. You're the boss, and she's just an employee. Some haters have a lot of imagination. What the fuck? In the end, the two groups of fans argued, forcing Nie Lingxian to post on Weibo, "My decision to study abroad has nothing to do with anyone. Please don't make a big deal out of it. It's really not that complicated. Regarding my temporary retirement from the entertainment industry and study abroad, my company has given me a lot of support and understanding. Thank you, President Su, for your support." After Nie Lingxian posted on Weibo, the storm calmed down a little. Huomin saw the news when he got up in the morning. He wanted to ask Suyu about it, but didn't want to be too nosy. After thinking for a while, she called Cece. "Sister Mian." "Cece, what's going on with your sister?" Huomin asked. Chapter 3298. Sister Mian, my sister. Cece looked like she wanted to say something, but stopped on second thought. "It's okay. If it's not convenient for you to tell me, I won't ask." "No, it's not inconvenient. My sister confessed her love to Su Yu and failed," Cece said in one breath. Huomin didn't know what to say. "It's my fault. She's been in love with Su Yu for so long, and she's been in love with him for so long. She's been in love with him for a long time, and it's hard for her to accept him. So, I thought it would be best if he accepted her, but I didn't expect her to react so strongly. Last night, she cried all night, and her eyes are swollen. She even posted on Weibo that she's going to retire from the entertainment industry. It seems like my sister has a fragile heart, but it's fine. I've discussed it with my family. She's not in the mood to work at home, so she might as well take this opportunity to go out and relax." "I see. Yeah, it's hard for your sister. Su Yu is stubborn. He's not easy to talk to. Your sister is good, but love is all about fate." "That's right, Sister Mian. I've been in love before. I know it. So, don't worry too much. Comfort your sister." "Okay. Oh, Sister Mian, Rick and I will treat you and President Qin to dinner tonight." "Wow, that's great." Huomin smiled. "We're flying back tomorrow morning." "You're going back? So soon?" Huomin was reluctant to leave. "It's not that soon. If it weren't for your accident, I wouldn't have the chance to come back for so long. Now that you're safe and I've visited my family, Rick still has a lot of things to deal with in the States. You know the nature of his work." "Okay, I understand. Let's have dinner together. Send me the time and place on WeChat." "Okay, huh? See you tonight." "See you tonight." After hanging up the phone, Huomin thought about Nie Lingxuan's departure. Nie Lingxuan's confession to Suyu wouldn't work, because Suyu didn't seem to be able to pay attention to women. What Huomin was worried about was that Suyu's Imperial Star had worked so hard to groom such a popular star. Why would she run away? Who would support Imperial Star in the future? This is a problem. However, Huomin wouldn't specifically talk to Suyu about this. After all, he couldn't interfere too much with other people's work. If outsiders saw it, they would misunderstand their relationship. Therefore, Huomin decided that he would tell Suyu about it when he had the chance to see him. Inside the office of the president of Imperial Star, the vice president pushed up her glasses. She was a woman in her 40s. She was swift and decisive, and she was very capable in doing things. She was also a manager that Suyu had poached with a high salary. She didn't seem to approve of Nie Lingxuan's study abroad. "President Su, how can you agree to let Nie Lingxian study abroad? What else can I do?" Suyu looked indifferent. "She's our pillar now. If she leaves, we won't have any female stars to show up at the Orchid Film Festival next month. Mian had a lot of negative news recently, and Zhong Xiaocui's status isn't high enough. There aren't many famous male stars. If this happens, Our company will be embarrassed. You should keep her. If she insists on leaving, how can I keep her? Suyu glared at the vice president. Then you can order the company to blacklist her. Female stars care about their own futures. If you threaten her like this, she'll give in. Chapter 3299. Do you think I treat my employee like that? Suyu's face turned cold. But President Su, we're doing this for the benefit of the company. Benefit? Do you think I'm short of money? Suyu continued to interrogate her. Then, that's enough. That's all for today. Nialing Xuan's matter is settled. I'll support her study abroad and sponsor all her tuition fees in the States. I'll also give her a house and a car for her use in the States. This is what I should do as the boss, but shut up. Get out. When Suyu got angry, he was terrifying. Seeing that her boss was really angry, the vice president didn't dare to say more. Finally, she shook her head and walked out. Outsiders didn't know what was going on between Suyu and Nie Lingxian, but the employees in the company knew. Suyu and Nie Lingxian barely spoke to each other all year round. There was no reason for the rumors that Suyu had fallen out of favor because he had a new lover. None of those rumors were reliable. Although the incident had been settled, Zheng Ro was innocently involved in it. She liked to do live streams, so when she was bored at home, she would play a few rounds of Mobile Legends and chat with her fans on livestream. But after this incident, Zheng Ro began to be criticized for no reason. Bitch Zheng, you're so cunning. You forced a big star to leave. Bitch, you'll die a horrible death as the other woman. You won't have a good ending. Zheng Ro, does your mother know you're so ugly? Zheng Ro replied angrily, my mother knows. Thank you. Bitch, how can you be so shameless? In order to pursue Suyu for money, power, and to marry into a rich family, you shamelessly went to Suyu's home and pestered him. I heard that beauty Nie broke up with Suyu and went to the States because of you. Is it okay for you to break them up like this? I'm not a fucking third wheel. Thank you, Zheng Ro replied domineeringly. Look at you. You're so young, but instead of finding a boyfriend, you seduce someone else's boyfriend. With your character, the Su family won't accept you. Don't dream of becoming a phoenix. I hope that after Suyu gets tired of you, he will heartlessly dump you. Fuck. Does your mother know how vicious you are? Zheng Ro was speechless. It was the first time she had such a heated argument with a fan. Zheng Ro, I used to like you and thought you were humorous, but now I realize that you're a total bitch. I'm now an anti-fan. Goodbye. Even if it's a watch, it's still a Rolex. Take care. Thank you. Zheng Ro replied to her fans while sipping Coke with a straw. Zheng Ro is such a shameless woman. Let's do a human search on her. Kill her. Make sure she can't leave the house. Human flesh search me? Hee hee. Hee hee. If you can fucking human flesh search me, I'll call you dad. Zheng Ro sneered. The quality of fans these days was really bad. They didn't even get to the bottom of the matter and started scolding. That wasn't all. Many people couldn't resist online violence and ended up committing suicide or suffering from depression because of human flesh search. Zheng Ro couldn't stand these fans being so vicious at such a young age. Yes, she wasn't bragging when she said that. Her father was so powerful that if he wanted to human flesh search her, it would take a lot of effort. Even the director of the Public Security Bureau wouldn't dare to do it. At this moment, Suyu sent her a WeChat message. Zheng Ro looked down and saw it was a voice message. Chapter 3300. Are you okay? Suyu asked. No, I'm still alive. Huh. Stop it. Be serious. I'm really fine, Lord Su. I'm really fine, Zheng Ro explained with a chuckle. Because of Xiao Xian, you've been in the limelight for no reason. I'm really sorry. It's okay. Just give me 5 million yuan as compensation. Suyu, haha. I was kidding. You didn't take it seriously, did you? No. I just wanted to say that sometimes some fans are crazy. So I thought, what do you want? You want to protect me 24/7? Zheng Ro teased Suyu. I wanted to send you back to the provincial capital to lie low for a while. If you want to come back, you'll have to wait until things calm down. So, you want to drive me away, That's not what I meant. Don't talk nonsense. Suyu was worried. Yelling Xuan's confession failed, and she went to study in the United States in disgrace. She even won Suyu's strong support. But at this moment, Zheng Ro became the scapegoat and was regarded as the culprit who ruined the relationship between Suyu and Yeling Xian. In fact, those who knew the truth knew that in these years, the only culprit who could affect Suyu was Huamin. Even though she had a family and was pregnant with her second child, she was still Suyu's most cherished bright moon. Zheng Ro was a little naughty and had the temperament of a female rogue, but she was a person who knew her place. Suyu, did I cause you any trouble? Why do you say that? Suyu replied in a low voice. It's because of my arrival that you mysteriously fell in love with someone else and became a scumbag. I think that I might have appeared at the wrong time. There's nothing wrong with the timing. In life, there are some things that you can't guard against. If you follow the prescribed order, it's not life. Damn, you sound so profound. Zheng Ro chuckled. So, what is your decision? Do you want to go home? It's not my style to hide at home. I'm not a turtle, Zheng Ro said. But the situation right now is really bad for you. Even if Shaoan protects you, I'm afraid there will be times when he's careless. I'm really afraid that the fans will do something crazy to you. Are you really worried about me? Of course. Okay, since you're so kind, I'll go abroad with a tour group for a few days. I'll go home. I don't want to see my parents' cold faces. To them, I'm just a defective product. Huh, if they weren't so old, they would probably kill me in the cradle and have a second child. Don't talk nonsense. Who would say that about their parents? All right. Then I won't joke with you. I have a high school classmate in Singapore who has invited me many times. It just so happens that I'm very free recently. I'll go and visit her for a few days. Okay, I'll book a plane ticket for you and have someone drive you there. No. I'm used to freedom. I'll do it myself. You don't have to worry about me. In fact, Zheng Ro was very independent. She was surprised that Suyu did everything himself. Hearing Zheng Ro's words, Suyu didn't want to force her. He transferred the money to Zheng Ro's account through WeChat. She was dumbfounded. It was 100,000 yuan. It seemed the rumor that Suyu is a super rich man wasn't just a legend. Suyu, tell me the truth. Does your family have a banknote printing factory? Zheng Ro couldn't help but laugh. Chapter 3301. But I didn't, Suyu answered with a straight face. Fuck, do you treat money like it's nothing? I'm just a stranger you don't know well, but you're willing to give me 100,000 yuan. You're not a stranger to me. You're my friend, Suyu answered with a straight face. Hearing his words, Zheng Ro was slightly touched. It seemed that Suyu had started to treat her as a friend rather than an irrelevant person. Suyu, it's too much money. I don't want it. How about this? Send me a red envelope of 9,999 yuan. I want good luck. You don't want 100,000 yuan? You want 9,999 yuan? Zheng Ro, are you out of your mind? Suyu scolded. Ha. Yeah. I think water got into my hair when I washed it this morning. Send it now. Then Zheng Ro rejected the transfer and returned the 100,000 yuan that Suyu had sent to Suyu. Exasperated, Suyu had to send another transfer. 9,999 yuan. I want a red envelope, not a transfer. Zheng Ro made a face. Damn it. I can only send 200 yuan at a time on WeChat. When can I get 9,999 yuan? Are you kidding me? I'm not kidding you. I'm kidding you to death. Haha. Suyu, okay. I'll stop teasing you. I'll take the red envelope. Thank you, Mr. Super Tycoon Su. I'm going to buy the plane tickets. Okay, tell me when you're done. I'll have and drive you to the airport. Looks skinny and isn't as strong as me. Can he really protect me? Zheng Ro teased. You don't know, and is very strong. He can fight 10 people at once. Go back to your work. I'll go to a meeting. Okay. Hanging up, Zheng Ro held her cell phone and looked at the 9,999 yuan that Suyu had sent to her, feeling warm inside. One day, she hoped this man would send her a 520 or 1,314 yuan. That day wouldn't be far away, right? Zheng Ro went upstairs to pack her luggage and called her friend in Singapore to book the plane tickets. On the other side, airport in Moscow, young Master Chiao. I don't want to follow you. I'm afraid I'll bring you trouble. Amy bit her lip like a bullied little wife. Forget it. Without Lu Yan's protection, you'll die if you go out in your current state. God knows how many enemies you've made in the past few years, Xiao Fei said mildly. 3 hours after they left, Lu Yan posted a notice on the deep web, announcing that Amy had left her mercenary group and was permanently removed from it. It meant that this man was no longer Lu Yan's subordinate. You can kill him or torture him as you please. This aroused Xiao Fei's desire to protect Amy, which was exactly what Amy wanted the most. The moment she boarded the plane in Moscow, Amy was sure she had defeated Lu Yan. At least this man had left her. Young Master Chiao, I really don't want to be a burden to you anymore. Now that I've safely sent you home, please go home. I'll leave immediately. I've saved up a lot of money over the past few years. I think I can survive anywhere. Let's go. Xiao Fei didn't say anything and headed straight for the exit. Amy smirked and followed him secretly. Young Master Chiao, do you really not miss boss anymore? If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have ended up like this. I really regret it. Hearing her words, Xiao Fei stopped and glanced at Amy. He said slowly, sometimes what you think is a lifetime will change everything in an instant. Sometimes you think it's hard to continue, but you'll end up with a lifetime. You can't plan your feelings well. Today, you're willing to give up everything, even your life, but tomorrow, you'll be a stranger. Life is cruel, and love is the most cruel of all. Amy didn't fully understand what he meant, but she could tell that young Master Chiao was sad that Lu Yan didn't understand and trust him. Young Master Chiao, from now on, I'll follow you wholeheartedly and be your female bodyguard. I'll go through hell for you. Young Master Chiao smiled mysteriously and didn't say anything. On the other side, on a luxurious private plane from Brazil to China, Sea City is up ahead. So, who's going to wake up our sleeping boss in the cabin? Lu Yan's subordinates looked at each other but didn't dare to act rashly. Chapter 3302. Why don't we play rock, paper, scissors? Whoever loses will go. What do you think? Someone suggested. Damn it. Rock, paper, scissors again. Can't we play something new? Someone protested. For example, fight the landlord. Hearing this, the others all looked down on him. In the end, they decided to play rock, paper, scissors. The unlucky guy had no choice but to walk to the door of the inner cabin. Boss, he called out softly. There was no response from inside. Boss, we're almost there. Time to get up. There was still no response from inside. The guy made up his mind and raised his voice by several decibels. He gathered chi in his dantian and yelled, Boss Yin, you should get up. Before he could finish, the inner cabin door opened with a bang. A pitch-black pistol was instantly pressed against the kid's head. Shut up. Don't you know that I'll kill anyone who disturbs me when I'm sleeping? Boss, we're almost there. The plane is descending. You'd better get ready for the nice party with Miss Hua. The guy was smart enough to bring up Huamin. Hearing this, Lu Yan put down her pistol in a good mood. Okay, I'm in a good mood today. I won't argue with you. Lu Yan turned around and checked the flight record. They had indeed arrived at Sea City. Lying on the bed lazily, she turned on her watch and dialed a familiar number. 10 seconds later, the call went through. Yan, what's up? Dad, guess where I am now? The U.S. Professor Lu thought his daughter had gone to see him. No, I'm too lazy to go to the U.S. I'm afraid I'll alert the FBI. After all, I'm on the red alert list. Lu Yan chuckled. You're in a good mood. Did you go to see your sister? You're indeed my father. You guessed right. Lu Yan chuckled. Didn't I tell you many times that you can't? Professor Lu didn't finish his sentence. Plus, last time, after my sister was kidnapped by Huasi Qian, Ian and Nalo's people kept contacting brother-in-law's people. I think Ian, that psycho, is not an idiot. He must know my sister's identity. So if that's the case, why should I hide? I can't even recognize my own sister. I think with me here, My sister's safety is guaranteed. After all, we're in China, and they won't dare to do anything. Fine, every time I talk about you, you have countless reasons to refute me. Professor Liu didn't know what to do with his daughter. Of course, I'm the daughter of two geniuses. That means I have quick reflexes, Liu Yin said proudly. All right, don't be so smug. When we get there, if you see your sister, tell me about her recent situation. If you're worried about her, why don't you call her and ask her yourself? Liu Yin said. Professor Liu, oh, I know. Dad, you must be afraid of awkward conversations with my sister. Okay, I have to get back to work. That's all. Without answering his daughter's question, the professor turned off the video call. Liu Yin turned off the video on her watch and smiled slightly. Bored at home, Huamin had returned to work at Southside with Qin Chu's permission. His workload had decreased a lot, and he was much more relaxed. Director, someone wants to see your number. Should we take it? Chen Jie entered the office and reported in a low voice. Huamin looked up and was slightly surprised. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.